All right.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let them come.
And welcome to another episode of Where Heartbreak Feels Good, the very feeling that Elon Musk has been feeling for the past few days, as you've seen his feed. Joining me today to discuss all the things that we watched in the month of May is Josh D. Woodbury.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. I missed last month. We're in the middle of a breakup between Trump and Elon. So happy Pride.
Wow.
And joining us again is Evan.
Glad to be here. It's crazy how we're almost nearly, halfway through the year already. 2025 is going full steam ahead. Lots of interesting TV, movies, video games, books. This might be a really good year for video games. I just finished a video game, Expedition 33.
Shit. Okay. I need to play that.
An instant classic, John. I think you will love it. It is an instant classic. It's a monumental game. It's already June, but I'm saying do
you know what I downloaded last night?
What?
Because of the state of play? Hitman 3.
Oh, I never played the Hitman games.
I played a bit of it, but I might dive into it more because that James Bond game, it's pretty good.
Looks pretty cool. Yeah, I watched that too. I'm really, really excited about that. So yeah, I'm excited. Lots of great stuff happened in May. My birthday happened in May. 1 year away from 1 year away from 30, which sounds disgusting.
You have a May 4th birthday, right?
May the 4th. Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Very, very easy to remember. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I'm hyped. Lots of great movies, TV.
Do we want to start with movies or TV?
Let's do movies.
I think movies. I think TV is going to be very interesting.
There's going to be a Elon Musk Trump.
It's not going to be like that. That's wild. Yeah, as of this recording, Elon Musk and President Trump are going over some craziness. Yeah. But yeah, movies. Once upon a time, we were like, do we just do April and May all together? But May has had a lot of bad and good movies.
Should I wait?
There is one movie that you need to talk about that you didn't get to talk about.
Yeah, Sinners, right?
Oh, you haven't talked about Sinners.
I rewatched it, so we could talk about it.
Nice. That's doing twice as well.
Man, this movie's fucking incredible. Best of the year. It's just like everything you want in a movie. It's just really cool, and I saw it again with Edgar in IMAX 70, and man, those aspect ratio shifts, those transitions are incredible.
I didn't get to see your reaction to the second one at the barn door, but I saw
oh my god, with the
musical number, and I was like, yep.
Both of them are incredible, man. Like, so good. And
did you?
I think. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna ask. Did you get to see this in IMAX 7?
Oh yeah, twice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, my first one was just like normal 70, so it was just a very wide the whole way through. And that still worked also really well. But yeah, this movie's just magic, especially that Conjuring Spirit scene is just same of the year. We'll talk about another rival to that later. But I think this is Michael B. Jordan's best work so far.
I was thinking the same thing because I was like,
he's playing two very distinct characters and he's doing them both really fucking well.
I agree. I was like, I think this and Creed might be my two favorite of his.
I like Killmonger a lot too.
Killmonger's really good as well. Yeah, but yeah, he's cooking.
But Haley Steinfeld back in a live action role, fucking oof.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What was your last live action role besides Hawkeye?
Bumblebee, right?
Besides
Hawkeye, yeah.
And she did other TV show for Apple, right? I forgot what
she did. That one, Emily
Dickinson. Yeah, I forgot that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is very crazy to say, but it's at least one of Ludwig Göransson's best scores. It might be his best. It's just insane.
The guy can't make a bad score.
No.
Yeah.
And Tudor just like he did his big one with this. Like it's so sprawling and like massive in scope, and yet so like intimate with its characters, and like so personal feeling, and like it's just there's not like can't really say enough about like good things about this movie, and can't really say more than what everyone else has said.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, Josh, you're also the Oscar guy, though. What do you think about his Oscar prospects?
I mean, anything's possible these days. I feel like it's the biggest like movie culturally of the year, and I don't think that we touched for a while at least.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I think it's wait till like the fall.
Yeah, I think it could be our Dune, where at least it gets Tets, and I think Tudor might get in because I feel like this Academy could like his sensibilities more than Denis. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think last year was I don't think it wasn't even like a tight year for directors last year, which made it even more baffling. But I think this year might be a bit tougher once we get into the fall.
And like this is more of an original movie than Dune, which like it's in a way.
Yeah.
And it's more of a personal movie. So
exactly. I think that personal level might make it more appealing to give him a director nomination.
He's doing a lot in this too. He's balancing so many things.
Yeah, I'm really rooting for him for at least a nomination for sure. But yeah, this movie is like crawling with nominations from the screenplay, the score, director, editing, cinematography.
Ludwig Göransson winning like all three of his noms is crazy.
That'd be amazing. There's a movie coming out that has like a competition in score. I forget. People are already hyping it up.
I mean, Frankenstein could be up there.
Begonia, I don't know what's gonna happen there, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy for Ryan Coogler.
Yeah. I will say, on a thematic level, watching it a second time, it really did hit me, like the whole idea of the hive minds, especially if you put yourself in the perspective of Sammy, where on one side, like Sammy, fucking Adam Sandler level line.
Yeah.
It's like Jack Nicholson in fucking Shining.
Yeah.
But no, like obviously, like Remick trying to like almost like culturally appropriate, the Black culture, and like, in his music, like a lot of ways that the industry does with a lot of Black artists. But then also you go back to his family, and in a way, his dad is in charge of another hive mind with the church, and like trying to like push this agenda that all music, all art is bad. So again, just that dilemma is like really, really good.
It's really, really compelling. It's such a fascinating movie. So many layers. But yeah, where do we start with the month?
I want to just touch on a few more things I missed last month.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Did you guys talk about White Lotus?
We did. Did we?
Or was that the month before?
I don't think so.
White Lotus was April.
Maybe we did. I don't know. Let me double check the time.
If we didn't, we just mentioned or I talked about it.
White Lotus, solid season.
I think the weakest of the three. Or no, I don't know. I think one's still the weakest.
I still like
it's in the middle.
This better than one.
Me too. Yeah.
Better than one. For me, one was just like I did not like the finale compared to this one, or at least the finale. At least I liked it better than most people.
But this does not live up to Season 2 at all for me. I think it's very like just it like I didn't really know what to do. It felt very like meandering this season.
It's oddly paced for sure. Oddly paced, oddly structured. But at the same time, each episode I kept on wanting to watch it because I liked most of the characters. I liked,
Is it okay? This has made sense. I like the characters, but I think a lot of their arts were kind of useless.
Yes, yeah. On the surface, they had a lot of interesting stuff. I still don't understand what they did with the Jason Jason Isaac's character. I'm just like,
they should have committed.
Man,
spoilers, but they should have fucking committed to the family dying.
I don't think
everyone except him or something.
That's not White Lotus. White Lotus isn't like a mass murder.
Why not?
It could have been. Yeah, exactly.
Change it up.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't feel like that was like White Lotus is always about just like,
and we got 3 people dying, so
a lot of this shit can happen, but at the end of the day, it's like not many people are really going to die. Like each season, it's like, oh, everybody on the boat's gonna get shot and just kill, and like it was just her. It was just Tanya. Like I feel like every season they do all this big thing, and then you just dial it back.
That's kind of why it's frustrating for me, though.
I
They
mean,
don't commit.
I mean, but I think that's the point of why.
I think this season they should have, at least with the family.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like I didn't really.
It felt very much like a cop out, where like no one died.
True,
in
but
the
like
family.
somebody did die. In the
Yeah, and
season.
I thought it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Juan Goggins' arc a lot. I liked, gosh, I'm forgetting her name.
Amy Wood.
No, the main, the woman trio, the C.
Carrie Coon.
Carrie Coon, yes, it is. Carrie Coon.
How could you forget?
I don't know. She's like the queen of HBO. I know. I'm
That's
sorry.
Show. Her and Parker Posey.
She was incredible. Yeah, they are both incredible. So I like their arcs a lot. But yeah, it just a pretty disappointing, uneven season, but still like a lot of fun to be had as well throughout. So yeah, just definitely a middle of the road kind of show. Definitely a disappointment compared to season 2. But yeah, I definitely put it above season 1 for me though. Season 1, I was just like, not a lot of characters are really compelling besides like the son was kind of interesting.
Murray Bartlett was good, but
I
really don't know her.
Yeah, but I didn't like his death either.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty lame. And yeah, that was kind of it for me for season 1. But yeah, middle of the road show. Yeah, what else you got?
Just one more thing. I want to touch on. I don't know if you guys did. Warfare.
I think we talked about Warfare.
We talked about it.
I think I like this movie a lot more than both of you guys. Like I could see the issues that have it where it's doesn't really commit to one side or not, or like I feel like it does in the end though. I don't get that. Like with the blurring out of certain people and like going through their house at the end, I think it was really interesting.
See, I like that, but then for some during the credits, it felt more celebratory during the closing credits, where all just like chilling out with the army people. But I get what you're saying though. Like it definitely, I felt that at the end. I felt like this emptiness, like this. What was the point? Nature of it all during those closing moments. I felt that.
I think the reason I think it works a lot more as an experiment, like and sound design and just
for sure those are the best parts.
It's incredibly technically stunning and it's I don't know I really fucked with it.
I'm still fully on board the Alex Garland trend. I have not left him
doing Elden Ring. What do you think about that?
Super fascinating. I'm like, how do you even capture such a world like that, which doesn't really have a strong narrative? It's all built on like lore and environmental storytelling. How do you capture that in a 2 hour
visually? It's gonna be really cool.
Wouldn't it be a little bit like similar to
Green Knight?
No, Annihilation.
Annihilation would be his
Visually,
closest comp. Yeah, closest comp. Yeah,
I see the mix between Annihilation and Green Knight.
Yeah, because in Elden Ring you have like talking dragons and weird like environmental phenomenon. It's just
fucked up looking bosses.
Yeah, it's like I love the game. It's one of my favorite games ever. But how do you
play it still?
How do you do that? Like it's so fascinating.
My boy George.
Maybe George can come in and help write the script for Elden Ring.
Maybe he'll talk shit about him too later.
This guy, George is like, dude, get off the mic. Like, we get it. He didn't have a fun time. It's wild.
All the girls are fighting.
Right? It's like, dude, Hollywood is messy, guys. Anyway.
I guess this could be part of a more conversation later. I did start my Mission Impossible rewatch in April. Should we talk about that now, or should we wait till Final Reckoning?
We can transition to Final Reckoning if you want with that. I rewatched them.
I mean, I was gonna wait till.
Is this your last show?
It is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's just dive into Final Reckoning and your experience with the Mission Impossible movies.
All right. So I rewatched Mission Impossible 1. Obviously, it's still great.
So did I.
I feel like I appreciate it a lot more because I've seen more of De Palma's movies by now. So I get his stylings a lot more. It's still I feel like it still drags in the middle a little bit, but the Langley stuff is just fucking incredible, and all the whip pins and the Dutch angles and the
you've been seeing me upset.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's the direction, the editing. It's so precise. in his work. I agree with you. There's a couple of sequences after he survives. Again, full spoilers for all the Mission Impossible movies. But there's a sequence or two after his team is assassinated, and he's like trying to discover what's going on with the knock list, where the movie kind of drags there. I hear people say like the first Mission Impossible is pretty confusing story wise, but I don't really think it is.
I feel like we'll get to that.
I don't think the first Mission
Final
Impossible
Reckoning kind of like.
I don't think Final Reckoning is that confusing at all.
It's not.
It's pretty point A to point B, but like I remember the middle of Mission Impossible being kind of like befuddling, but once they get to the CIA stuff and then the end of the movie, it's like really, really, really strong. Where the training stuff is still like 26 years later, really good
and like really good, yeah.
Like with the whole helicopter going in the tunnel, I'm just like, holy shit, it's so cool. So yeah.
Then like I did, yeah. This might be crazy. I watched 2 for the first time.
That's wild to me. That's crazy.
I never watched it because I was always in the rush to do these before the new one. So like, oh, I'll skip it. I've heard my bad things about this, but guess what? I had a great time with this movie.
Wow.
I totally was like on its wavelength. Like John, who's the director?
John Woo.
John Woo. Yeah.
Wicked.
Man, his direction is insane in this, and I'm so for it. Fucking motorcycle dueling in the end.
Awesome.
Incredible. On the beach. The beach shit is incredible.
They should have broken their backs, but yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, they just like fall back. I'm like, ouch.
This movie fighting rots, and it is a mess story-wise and
character-wise.
I feel like, character-wise especially.
I'm like, what is Danny Newton's character? And just
kind of useless. But she looks great.
She looks fucking amazing.
That scene where like the bad guy just fucking rips her scarf off. That music, unbelievable. Yeah, this movie's fun.
Yeah, that's like the one villain, which is so funny. Like he just like hates Ethan Hunt so much. He like, despises Ethan. But yeah, Mission Impossible 2, I don't hate it as much as other people, but it's just really goofy and just not in line.
It's very goofy.
It's not in line with like things that I love from the Mission Impossible movies, but I respect it. I watch them time to time. I had like the VHS of Mission Impossible 2 growing up, where like on the back of the VHS you see like Tom Cruise hanging off of the rock, and that's like one of my first instances of Mission Impossible. I think Mission Impossible 2 might be my first Mission Impossible movie that I ever watched, because my mom really liked it. And then I went back and saw 1 and 3 and so on. So yeah, how about J.J. Abrams' Mission Impossible 3?
Still great.
I really like it.
Still great.
The highway scene, the bridge was fantastic.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is maybe the best performance in these movies.
It's funny because
fucking terrifying.
The writing for his character kind of generic, but he just elevates.
I think across the whole movie, the writing's a little
yeah.
But the third act is really fun.
He sells it. The third act is great.
Michelle Monaghan, incredible.
I love the bridge. Michelle Monaghan's amazing. The way he goes through all the stages of trying to deceive Hoffman's or Davian is so fascinating. Where he's kind of like he's pleading, and then he's acting all tough, and then he's apologizing, and then he's negotiating, all in the span of like 30 seconds. It's great work. It's fantastic.
Up there with one of his best work as an actor.
I agree, man. I agree. JJ really let Tom cook there. 2005.
Then this is actually interesting with my Ghost Protocol rewatch. I've always been a 3 over this movie, but this rewatch shifted that. I think I like Ghost Protocol.
I always go back and forth. It's so hard. Yeah.
I feel like as I've become more like familiar with Brad Bird's work and his like the way he directs,
Tomorrowland,
like, it's all over this. No, like Ratatouille, Incredibles. I still need to watch Tomorrowland. I might give it a shot soon.
Not good.
Yeah. But like, it's just a really slick movie, man. The Burj Khalifa scene is just one of the best in the series.
Red is dead.
It doesn't have the IMAX ratio.
IMAX, yeah. That scan I sent you though, like the print, man, so perfect. I think the third act is also really good. The parking structure sequence is really fun and really well edited. I don't know, just pure rock.
That's where it ends, like mission accomplished.
So good.
It's so good. Yeah, I love Oh man, yeah. That's
That
great.
movie, I think the biggest flaw of that movie is just that it has a very bad villain.
Yeah, it's
The,
very
the
forgettable.
villain is so
But
bad.
on the other hand, I think this is like one of the best crews we've had.
Yeah,
With
Jeremy Renner.
just adds so much.
He's
Yeah.
so good. The
And this
whole
is like
like
Simon Pegg really coming into his own in the series.
Simon Pegg is great. Oh, the Kremlin sequence was
Oh
fantastic.
my god,
I love that sequence.
so inventive.
With the tech. And then Jeremy Renner in like the ventilation sequence was very funny.
I really wish he came back for Final Reckoning. I know it's probably like not
know.
possible, but
everybody come back. Yeah, that would have been cool.
I mean, they did sell it like as an endgame level movie, so I don't know why they didn't. Just...
I think he was recovering from getting run over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mention. Well, you know, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard like people say that he was supposed to be.
He's supposed to be in Dead Reckoning, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be Isai Morales' character.
No, that was
no,
that was Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah. Wait, so what were we talking about, Edgar?
That I heard that Jeremy was like his character was supposed to be Nick's character in Dead Reckoning. Well, not that in Final Reckoning, but I don't know if that's true. The government official, whatever he is, like part of the
Nick Offerman?
Oh,
yeah.
No, I was like, who's the fuck is Nick?
You're like the disrespect.
That would work.
He's the leader of the CIA, right?
Yeah. Or
I guess that would have made sense if Renner was yeah.
Yeah. He was like in a new position every movie. But yeah. But then then the McQuarrie trilogy with Rogue Nation, Fallout, and Dead Reckoning.
I still stand by Rogue Nation is the best of these movies.
Rogue Nation is so fucking good.
It's just it's a perfect spy movie. It's really slick, it's stylish, it's so confident in its direction, and that opera scene is just like a top 5 action sequence of all time for me.
Impeccable.
And like one thing I noticed this rewatch is that McQuarrie really has like a Spielberg-esque control of like how the set pieces move between each other and the transitions between them. Like I was really reminded of Temple of Doom and that movie with how like seamless each set piece moves between each other. It was really cool. And Rebecca Ferguson, man, this adds so much to this.
Yeah, she's incredible. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. Like Rogue Nation, I always like go back and forth between.
It's harder because I really appreciated Fallout more on this rewatch too.
Yeah, Fallout is one of my favorite movies ever. Like
that score is unbelievable, man.
Oh my
Warren
god,
Balfe going off.
Yeah, it's such an eerie, gloomy score.
The piano, holy shit,
so good. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So
then Dead Reckoning. I'm a Dead Reckoning believer, I guess, or I stand by that movie. I think it's really fun.
That movie continues my belief that sometimes part 1s are better than part 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter, Infinity War,
100 Games.
I used to like the part 2 of Harry Potter more than part 1 until I rewatched them more. But anyways, Dead Reckoning, you know, famously, I'm always like, man, if it didn't have that Rebecca Ferguson death, I would love it. Like, it would be 5 out of 5. But like, the more I rewatched it on My Cup of Tea with Nathan, and every scene, I'm just like, oh, that's amazing. I think it's the most consistent, consistent with its set pieces. Like every fucking moment of that movie is just really cool. It just sings. Even the part I don't like with her death, I'm just like,
it's so well done though.
It's staged so well done. Yeah, the momentum is killer. Like my heart's pounding.
I'm just running through that like the hallway of candles. Oh my god, dude!
It's so good. It's so good.
The score.
So yeah, I
the airport stuff is like incredible. I love it so much. I think the train set piece is just unbelievable.
The train set piece is just incredible. Yeah, but I love the airport sequence. I love a good like crowded like what's gonna happen. Like I go back to
I'm doing fucking magic.
That's so good. I go back to like the Bourne Ultimatum, if you guys have seen that. But the Bourne Ultimatum has like a crazy cool like train station set piece that I really like. It kind of reminds me of that. Where they're trying to hunt him down. It's just like he's moving through the crowd. It's like I just love it so much.
Yeah, Evan, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to review the Final Reckoning.
I want to hear your thoughts first.
I love the Final Reckoning. I loved it. I remember going through the first like 20 minutes or so after the movie. I whispered to Jalen, I'm just like, the first 20 minutes kind of remind me what I don't like about Rogue One, in the sense that like, it's very like in Rogue One, I don't like the planet hopping. It's like it's too story ending.
It's very much reminding me of Rise of Skywalker also.
Yeah, I'm just like this is going. It's too many pieces
fast
at the beginning, but after again, full spoilers. So the first part of Reckoning, I'm like, oh, I can see why people don't like this, but I do love Angela Bassett's monologue at the beginning. It's really well done. First woman to do the mission briefing, which is really cool. And I like the kind of callback to it in that era. But also the whole thing with Grace, meeting up Grace, the whole London sequence, kind of messy. But once it gets to Luthen's death, like I'm fully locked in. Like Luthen's death really works for me. I kind of expected it, but the way that the ghost of Luthen permeates throughout the movie was really strong as well, and he kind of like sings the whole theme of the movie in terms of like trust and belief. The kind of like in Destiny that kind of works not only for this movie but all the other movies that like Macquarie has been emphasizing starting in Rogue Nation about like the destiny, the fate that goes into a lot of Ethan's actions. His willingness to protect his friends goes into that a lot. And I think the movie Final Reckoning really delves into that in a very strong way, where everybody, whether he knows or doesn't know, has to like trust Ethan. It's why I love the Angela Bassett president sequence as well, which is so disparate from the movie, but also hones in on that idea of like trust and belief and like.
I think that scene is where the movie locked in for me. The boardroom scene.
The boardroom scene. Yeah. But I think that's after like Luthen's death as well, because he gets kidnapped soon after. But I'm with you.
Just to interrupt you real quick, I think the death was fitting, but I think the way they did it, the editing especially, was kind of like did a disservice to the scene.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I thought like it was very much Ethan. It reminded me of Mission Impossible 3 again, where he's like kind of compartmentalizing with like the inevitable.
I feel like just the way it was done kind of like took away the emotion for me. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, but it kind of worked for me. But yeah, I love everything after that. The briefing is great. Again, people hate when they call back other movies, but it made for very funny. It was like the Kremlin thing, you bombed the CIA office, like that was a week ago. It's like, I love that shit. The whole boardroom filled with people all the actors I just love, by the way, too. But then after that, of course, like the way he accepts his mission, he has to go to the submarine, which is just, one of my all-time favorite sequences now. His friends going to Alaska with the great sequence as well. Palm Clementieff was amazing in this, great one-liners. I think I liked Haley Atwell more in Dead Reckoning, but I do like her a lot in this movie as well. Her role here,
she has a lot more to do in Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, but her role here fits very well, especially at the end. But yeah, everything after this whole conference, like Josh said, just worked for me phenomenally. So the action, the storytelling, the thrill ride, I was on board with it. And the plane sequence, I'm just like, I've never like had my hands up like, what am I watching in a theater in a very long time? And I'm just like gobsmacked. I wanted to stand up and be like, what am I watching? But I had to hold myself in. But yeah, I adored this movie. And the more I watched it like twice now, but the ending moment with him just on the field, like with Luthen's monologue recording at the end, I'm just like, this is why I love the movies, man. It's just it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, those are my messy thoughts.
I think the first 40 or so minutes, 30, 35 minutes of this movie is kind of a lot to get through. But yeah, like I said, once we get to that conference scene, and especially once Tom jumps in the water, this movie just fucking pits up and does not stop running. I think the submarine sequence is an all-timer. The biplane sequence, an all-timer. Especially the biplane sequence. Like, I just, first time watching that, just mouth agape the whole time. Insane shit. How does he do it? Like, this is what movies are made for.
It really is.
And I think Haley Atwell is really good. I think, like I said, she has a lot more to do in Dead Reckoning, but I think she's still good here. The CPR sequence is very interesting to me.
Very,
very interesting, right? Very, very fascinating dialogue right there. I think Isai Morales is a lot better in this movie.
Dude!
He really ramps up the cartoony villain so much more. And I think it works a lot more than that.
People are hating on it, but I think it works like on a funny
So good.
level. And just like as soon as I watched it the first time, I'm like, oh, this is him without the entity. And he's so much more.
Like the Catch Me If You
goofy.
Can when he's driving away in the truck is fucking gold, man.
You can't-
So
I'm
good.
like, this is amazing. What am I
Yeah.
watching? Yeah, I love that scene.
What else? Simon Pegg, as
Oh, he's
great
great.
as you can.
He's
Yeah.
always so good in these movies, yeah.
Oh, fucking the whole Bloodso and his crew, like Katie O'Brien, Shermo Chillman, incredible shit.
You
The
must
the
be
J
out of your
submarine,
mind.
incredible shit.
He's peak. Yeah.
Everybody's talking about that line delivery, but I love his little
Yeah.
Wait, what's
You're-
the line?
It's like your thing
If
was never
you're-
part of my plan.
If you're looking to like,
Oh yeah, what is?
what's the line? If you're like,
if you're hoping
to stir shit, you've come to the right man. Or
yeah,
something
you're
like
hoping
that.
to poke the
So
bear, you
good.
come to the right man.
Yeah.
Like he had so many pops in the theater. I'm like, this guy is.
I'm like, okay, maybe I do need what Severance, you know?
He's so good. It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie fucks.
It slaps. Yeah. And I forgot to mention, I really liked the guy from the first Mission Impossible, the CIA guy. From
He was great. I like way in this like a lot more than I was expecting.
way more than I was expecting. I got so like emotionally like gravitated.
The word's
towards
really
him.
low.
Yeah, there's a sequence where he's like delivering the Morse code, and the cabin is burning down around him. And then the movie cuts, and I'm like,
That,
I hope he
like-
lived. Like, oh my gosh.
The hand-to-hand sequence between that, like the stuff in the cabin, and Tom on the submarine with the treadmill.
Ooh,
Oh my god, so good.
I loved it. Yeah.
And I think the ending ends on a really nice note with them kind of like blending into the people that they saved without them knowing. I think that's such a cool note.
Perfect.
And Tom walks away with Ilsa Faust, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
No
Totally.
lies detected. Yeah. I love it. Edgar?
Did you guys thought they were gonna pull a No Time to Die for a second, or what was
I
going through your mind?
thought
of it?
so. Maybe.
You're trying to die in terms of what? Him dying?
Parachute him dying.
No, yeah, I didn't think that was
I don't know.
not happening.
I don't think it would have worked as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
You see him crumpled on the ground, like broken bone, just like.
No, this movie is great. I freaking love it. It's funny because while I do understand the complaints that the movie does do a lot of flashbacks in the first 30-40 minutes, and they do get to a point where they're almost annoying, especially because it almost feels like the movie is not confident enough about certain things.
Yeah. for sure.
Like you're reminding me of things that we literally just saw like 2 years ago. Like come on.
Which the way people have questions still about it online, I'm like, maybe they need more flashbacks.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. It's funny enough, the flashbacks didn't anger me at all. Like I think the flashbacks really work. It's just the editing of those opening sequences.
I think the flashback of Angela Bassett when she's like giving him the mission, I think that works. That's like
That's
it
really
almost
good.
feels necessary.
Like the boardroom talking about his fuck ups. Yeah.
No. I mean like the opening scene of like you're like flashing back to all the missions and stuff.
He puts in the VHS.
Oh,
tape.
I see. Okay, yeah. I think everything in between those two scenes.
Yeah. But it's funny because I did walk into this movie like 10-15 minutes late for my first
God,
time. So
what's with it
Yeah,
with
dude,
you?
what is happening? It's 2025. Oh my god.
You do this with sinners too, right?
What a crap.
I did it. And I honestly I thought it was like maybe just 5. I didn't miss much. And then
Oh my
when
God,
when I went to my second view and I was like, oh no, I like this whole thing happened. Like I missed the breakup prison scene with a puff.
Really?
Oh
Oh,
my
it's so good.
But yeah,
I can't talk shit because I did do this with Hurry Up Tomorrow, which we'll talk about.
Well, you didn't miss much, but
I forgot the movie came out. Oh my god. That was a movie.
you and the world.
Not as bad, but we'll see. We'll talk about it.
But anyway, I love this movie. I think the momentum that the movie picks up right directly after Luther's death, it's great. It almost like I feel like you could cut down a lot of the first act of this movie down, and it would work so much better because a lot of it is just like very repetitive. Also, so you don't.
I do hear the argument like where you just make it one movie, like both like this and Dead Reckoning. I don't get
I
that.
know
There's too much in here.
It works. It
It's like a
wouldn't work.
4-hour movie. Yeah.
No.
But to that point, now that you mention it, Josh, I get the complaints about the flashbacks. I do not get the complaints about people saying, "Oh, like this like movie relies too much on like the other movies." It's like, yeah, it's the last one.
Exactly, yeah.
What were you expecting?
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Sebastopol sequence, my god, the sound
Mm.
design in that entire scene, amazing. How did he survive so many feet underwater? Who knows? But he's Tom Cruise, so who cares?
The shot of him like struggling to get up and then
Yeah.
like curling in and then the camera like
Both like the IMAX ratio gradually like shifting once he opens the door,
oh my
and
god,
the shot the door opening to the fucking whale submarine. Oh my god, dude!
peak.
I think I mentioned this on my review for my second viewing, but I love a good sequence in any movie that suddenly just turns into like a horror movie, and that's what that
Mhm.
entire scene is.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, great movie.
I will say I think the story was a little less memorable than past movies.
Yeah.
But it was still
Unfortunately, but it was still like it still has that classic
decent.
vibe.
It still
to
was
it.
fine enough.
There are certain sequences I'm like, well, I love the score here, but like, yeah, it's not as consistent as
It's
especially
missing like the Warren Mouth magic. Like
that
I
percussion.
don't. Let me bring it up, but I don't know why this motif isn't in there. Give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
How were your audience? Because my first audience was like great. They were so into the movie. They were like laughing,
yeah.
clapping, and everything. My second audience was like, oh,
Oh yeah, I mean, I was, I was the anchor for the, if nobody's clapping, I'll clap. I clapped both times at the end just so the audience can like continue clapping.
everybody lost their shit when finally Haley grabs the thumb drive like really quickly, and
Yeah,
everyone like,
that was good. Oh yeah, I got a lot of good claps both times I went. Every line from Tramel Tillman was amazing. Pom Klementieff got a great lines where it's like Ethan said not to kill him. He's like, but I want him dead. It's like it's great line delivery there. So yeah, a lot
But
of
where was this banner? Wasn't there?
I do love that
the airport one.
one. The airport one is
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Oh, was that the airport one or that the?
I was chasing Grace, but
That
it's
was
the same
Chasing
thing.
Grace. Yeah, same thing.
I think that is the airport one, right?
They're the same motif. Yeah.
But yeah, great movie. I'm so happy, as a Mission Impossible fan, most of all. It's just like I'm gonna miss these movies so much.
Me too.
Like they're so addicting. Like Josh, I watched 1, then did 5, 6, and 7.
I want to watch Fallout again.
like
Edgar has my damn 4Ks.
Hey, I told you to pick it up.
with all these movies, I'm just like I watch it and then like the next day I was like I want to rewatch it again and again and again.
Yeah.
Like I want to, if I can see Final Reckoning like 5 days in a row, I'll do it. Like these movies are just so endlessly
I mean, you're on summer, aren't you?
fun and rewatchable. I mean, yeah, but I'm lazy. Don't call me out like that. Yeah, great times with the movies.
And now, where do you guys want to move? Do you guys want to go back to the beginning of the month with a certain?
What happened at the
Shit,
beginning of
Which
the month?
one?
Oh, we didn't talk Thunderbolts yet.
Oh yeah.
Damn,
Just get all the blockbusters out of the way, I guess.
let's do that. I like Thunderbolts a lot. Wow,
Me too.
It's in my top 10, surprisingly.
Really?
I think that's fair.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
I mean, there's not a
it's
lot of
record,
good
though.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't rank a lot of Marvel movies. I don't even know if I have a Marvel movie ranking anymore.
No, I mean like
Um,
10 of the year, not 10 of Marvel.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Film of the year. Let me see where's it at for me. It's number 8.
It's like 12 for me, so it's not that different, but
It's number 8. You guys are gonna hate this. I have it above Mickey 17.
I mean that's I don't agree with that, but I understand it.
Big
That
time,
movie's not
yeah.
for everyone.
But yeah, I like Thunderbolts a lot. The team dynamic is freaking great. Their chemistry is great. Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh, fantastic character, fantastic performance. Especially the scene with her dad in New York was really strong. The father-daughter bond is really strong in this movie. I love Yelena with Sentry. I think
Louis Pullman.
fantastic. The way the movie handles grief. It's funny. Like a lot of the movies that we talk about today talk about grief.
I mean, that's just a 2020s theme, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of movies and
Generational
TV covering
trauma,
that. Yeah.
grief, yeah. The Bear got that covered, but now we got this. But yeah, I love the way they handled that with Yelena's arc and Lewis Pullman's arc about grief as well. Not a lot of the characters got that much depth compared to Yelena and Bob, but I did like the role that the father, what's his name, Red Guardian, played here. I think I liked him more here than in Black Widow.
Yeah. You
I
didn't like
his role here.
Taskmaster or what?
Best part of the movie. What are you talking about? Best part. I was always a fan of Ghost, even in the bad Ant-Man movie.
Me too.
It was really fun, and I think she's great here.
Yeah.
I think she's really good. Hannah,
I think she could have even had more to say, more to do.
I agree. I wanted. To
I think Hannah John Kamen, great actress.
I 1000% agree. I wish she got more to do. I think if she got more backstory like the other two, that'd be really cool. But I
hopefully, like going forward, she's like more involved. But we'll see.
Hopefully, maybe she gets killed off in Doomsday. We never know.
Shot in the head too.
That'd be awful. But she is in Doomsday, right? She was part of that cast. She's in the chairs.
Everybody's in Doomsday. Except the Eternals. So.
Wow. They'll be back next arc. But what else do I love here?
It actually looks like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the visual style was really nice. It fit. It's not like overly great.
Fucking great.
The what?
The fight choreography.
Really good, really strong. I agree.
No shaky cam. He's not as bad as like
not as bad as the other ones. Yeah. At least like Black Widow had a lot of shaky cam.
Yeah. The store was fucking great. Sunwatts.
I didn't think it was great as much as other people. I thought it was really strong though. It's definitely memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Which is rare for a Marvel movie.
I think that's the bar though.
Yeah, because I remember it. Yeah.
Not as much memorable stuff in MCU.
Oh, I like Sebastian Stan here too. He's really funny. He was like what, senator or representative for like a day.
I know people are like saying Julia Louis-Dreyfus is like incredible. I think she's all right.
I've never really gravitated towards her character. She's like okay. She has some fine scenes, but yeah.
The most interesting thing that she does as a character in this movie is that moment where you flash back to her trauma, but the movie that never addresses it again. It's just like, oh.
No, right. That was a good scene with her dad, right? Or
yeah,
like that. Yeah. That was good. But yeah, man, I was just so compelled by Lewis Pullman's performance, and the way they delved into what Sentry is really, dealing with, especially in that third act, which I think is definitely one of the easily the strongest third act I've seen in a long time.
It's one of the most inventive in MCU for sure.
Yeah, and I, as a huge I'm not like a dreamscape kind of fan, but I love this kind of stuff where it gets really psychedelic and weird and psychological and crazy.
Surreal.
Like you're really crashing through your memories and your traumas, and then the way that
they could have looked better, but
yeah,
like at least like more creative with the design. But
it reminded me of those scenes where you go into Professor X's head in the X-Men.
Yeah. Good point. But just the scene of him like punching away his pain, while the other ones come around him and hug him. I was like, that was really special, really heartfelt.
And I think this is like, not to do all like fucking MCU nerd talk, but like this is the best post-credit scene in a while. I think at least the most excited I've gotten after one of them.
I think I like the one in Brave New World better. I'm kidding. No.
It's a good laugh. I will say that.
Let me just say something. I will speak now that you brought up Brave New World. It's funny to me because this movie sets up a more interesting Captain America 4 than what Captain America 4 is.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. I think it's funny because after Captain America, I was like, I really wish they talked about...
Focus on that!
Yeah. Talk about Cap as a
trademark.
leader. Yeah. Like Cap as a leader. Like what he's doing as a leader of the New World of the Avengers.
Have the movie be about him like assembling the Avengers instead of like just happening off screen.
Yeah. Because like the fact that he gave them like a trademark was hilarious. or like copyright issues or whatever. It was very funny. I'm like, I want to see that whole debacle happen in Doomsday if they have time. So we'll see. But yeah, strong movie. I was really, really pleasantly
And
surprised.
like, I kind of liked how that post-credit scene looked too. It's very different for Russo brothers. Like, visually.
Yeah, they talked about getting the cinematographer from Days of Future Past, and I immediately see that.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I immediately see that with like the way that the sun.
He's doing Doomsday and Secret Wars.
At least Doomsday. I don't know about Secret Wars.
Okay.
Probably, right? I don't know if any of the staff changed from like Infinity War to Endgame, but yeah. So I'm,
well, they shot those back to back, so I doubt
exactly. I'm not super pumped for Doomsday still, but like I'm intrigued for Fantastic Four at least.
The concept art was cool. I will say that.
Yeah, if it's to believe,
we'll see how it's translated.
If you can trust it.
Yeah.
I would love to be an actor working in that movie, getting paid to do nothing.
Right? Everyone seemed just like having fun.
Just eating.
No script yet, but just like hanging out.
Yeah.
I love how they're like playing it off as something else, but it's totally because they don't have a script.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody hire Christopher McQuarrie to come in and be a script doctor.
No, just keep him away. Let him do Tom Cruise stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's writing the new Deeper movie.
We need that Tom Cruise and De Armas vehicle.
I know, right? That sounds exciting.
Tom needs
But yeah, that was Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts fun.
Or actually, sorry, the New Avengers. That's the new title.
Yeah, I see. If that was like 2 weeks like later than it was, I would have liked it. But
it's baffling.
Days later, it's weird.
Why do it? Like it wasn't even. It was like on the Sunday. I'm like, are you serious? Like, what is happening here? It was so weird. But cool. I guess. So yeah, that was Thunderbolts. We talked about Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible. You want to go to the big Lilo and Stitch, or wait?
Oh God.
Let's just get it out of the way, I guess.
I'm shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked. People really didn't like this movie. I thought it was not great, but like it's serviceable. I won't watch it again, but it's fine.
Do you have any affinity for the original movie?
Yes, I watched it the same week with Nathan on My Cup of Tea. We watched it. We nearly cried in the middle. There's a great sequence in Lilo and Stitch, the animated movie, where it's after Stitch he seems to be drowning Lilo, of course, and Nani gets upset at him, and then he goes home, and it's like the ugly duckling sequence, and she's talking about her parents.
Is that in the live action remake? Because that's an interesting viewing experience.
No, you fell asleep, didn't you, motherfucker?
No, so there was a random thunderstorm in the area I was in, so I cut the projector. Then it picked up I assume 5 minutes later in the movie.
Nobody said like favorite wine.
Intervened.
Wait, what?
Huh?
The movie gods intervened.
Movie gods intervened. Yeah.
But there was no ugly duckling stuff.
Not necessarily. No.
That just adds to my fucking anger. That's so essential.
Yeah, I mean, I think the emotionality of this movie is.
I think what it is that you're more open to adaptations than I am.
Yes, I'm more open to I was curious to see what the changes were going on here.
Even if they're detrimental to everything.
Because I don't want because it's weird because I just came out of fucking How to Train Your Dragon and I'm I don't want a 1-for-1 either. I just
got a 1-for-1.
I got a 1-for-1. I'm just like, I went home to jail and I'm like, that got the loudest clap I've ever seen for a movie this year.
Really?
People were loving it.
People lost their shit when the trailer played in front of Wicked.
They love a free movie too. This was free, so. But people loved the hell out of this. The person next to me was like a UC fan, University of Cincinnati, and he was like, "Oh man, that was my favorite movie of the year." I'm like, "Oh wow."
You watch our movie.
And we were just talking about Mission Impossible the day, like minutes earlier, or before.
Have you seen Sinners?
I don't think he has seen Sinners. I don't like to talk to people during movies. I was like,
I
had my headphones on and he poked me because I was wearing my UC shirt. And he was like, "Oh, my son goes to UC." I was like, "I don't give a fuck about your son." No, I'm kidding. But anyways, because How to Train Your Dragon's like basically 1-to-1. I'm just like, I haven't seen the animated movie in a minute, but like I think that was like the same movie.
What's the
but
point?
But then like,
Money.
there's some very cool sequences in the movie too. There's some very cool sequences. I will give Dean DeBlah that point.
When Shrek live action happens, that's when I'll feel like,
oh God, don't even give me that. That's impossible. You can't really do like an ogre live
they'll
action.
find a way. Life finds a way. You know,
Life finds a way. But Lilo and Stitch on the other hand, I'm like, okay, is it going to be 1 for 1, or they could take some liberties like they did with Snow White? But this one took some liberties in like. And I will
they pissed me off.
Here. Some bad liberties here. Not some like overtly bad. Like for example, they have
Ohana makes fuck you.
No, I mean because they have like a different social worker in this one. Getting a new social worker it doesn't anger me. Like you're getting a new social worker. Cool. It's like it's weird, but it's like.
But like the whole point is that Cobra Bubbles was secretly FBI the whole time, and we didn't find out until the end. That's cool.
That's the point of the animated movie, but maybe they're making a different point here. Like
I hate it.
I'm not like, oh no, Cobra Bubbles isn't a social worker. Ruined the movie. Like really? Did you hear yourself?
Not just that, but it adds to it. You know.
Well, I think
putting up Lila and Nani is fucking like indefensible.
I mean, I will say about this because like the whole college part, dumb,
stupid.
But I will say it's like people were saying Nani gave her over to the state. That didn't happen. She
might as well have.
She didn't give her over to the state. Like the movie ends with them sleeping together in the same bed. They can see each other whenever the fuck they want. It's like she didn't give her.
Then why did they do it?
Look, she's living with she's not even living with the state. She's living with the.
Like if they're gonna have that moment at the end, then why even split them up?
Great point. I won't discount that at all. I think that's dumb.
Why did she even take the fucking plane that she could have just taken the plane?
What?
Why did she even take a plane when she could have just used the fucking portal?
It's like portal to your classes and come back.
She could if this was a college story, but like anyways, like there's a notion that she gave her over to the state. Lilo is happily living with David and David's grandma. Like,
yeah, fucking dumbass.
She's not living. David's not a dumbass. I mean, he's dumber than this. But you know, I mean, like I didn't mind him here.
Also, they gave Bubbles the role of Jumbo, just like hanging out with.
It's stupid.
Why? Why did they make Jumbo a villain?
Why is Jumbo not Russian?
Why is he not Russian?
Russian?
He's not Russian.
Was he Russian in the animated movie?
Yes.
He has an accent. Yeah.
I didn't catch that. But he's an alien. Aliens have a Russian accent.
He did.
Maybe the actor.
Voice actor did.
But anyways, I will give this movie one good scene. When I hate this movie.
I won't even have that.
I mean, I think first of all, I think on the basics alone, Lilo and Stitch have a great dynamic in this movie. They're very good chemistry together. The actress playing Lilo is really, really good. She plays a kid. She is a kid. You know,
he's all right.
She works. Damn, Todd.
That wasn't really that much special for me.
Oh my god!
I thought she was serviceable.
She was really sweet. I mean, fuck, she's not the kid from fucking Signed or whatever, but like, I think she was really good. And I was gonna say like the scene where Stitch is drowning. And Nani.
Stupid.
I love that sequence.
I'm just thinking about the TikTok of the little boy. Sorry.
That kid was going through it. That was great. But
that was you when Ilsa Faust died.
That was me more so when Ben Solo died. I was like, oh fuck me. But I liked Nani, you know, using what she learned as like from the past and helping save Stitch from drowning. Which in the animated movie, you know, they talk about Stitch being like too heavy to float on water at the very beginning of the movie.
Well, I think what makes animated special so well is that like there's not these big states. He's not dying. He just waits up. I think it works a lot better.
Less stakes makes it better?
Yes, for me. In this story.
I mean, sure, but like in that sequence in the movie, I liked her saving Stitch. That's a bad sequence to you? Her saving Stitch?
I don't know. I think the rest of the movie has made me feel nothing during it.
I was surprised by that because I was like, okay, that's one part of the animated movie where it's just like, oh, he's supposed to be heavy, but David just picks him up in the movie.
I think it works a lot better. I don't know. I just don't think there need to be these like
I like
emotional moments.
There has to be.
I'm like, you understand what I'm saying though? Like,
no.
they just rely so much on cheap emotion in this remake.
Yeah, like
True,
Stitch looks
true.
cute, and if he dies, it will be sad.
Exactly.
That's the extent of the themes of this movie.
But having
Sure.
Stitch actually like die for a second before being resuscitated, I think this is fucking stupid. Like it's pointless.
I like
why?
It's Nani. At the point in the movie, Nani's the one not caring about Stitch. We needed,
And that's stupid. Nani always cared for Stitch in the original.
She didn't always care for Stitch. That's a lie. She loved it when Lilo came back home with the pet.
Not then, but like she like did not fucking like shun him.
She learns to like
learns to like them, and by the time you get to the third act, she's like Stitch is part of her family.
Yes, I will agree with 100% with that point. I'm just saying I liked seeing her go through that in a different way in this movie.
Whereas like in the remake, Nani hated that motherfucker until the last scene.
Yeah,
I don't understand why.
Going along with that, I think this movie took a long time to get me
like,
emotionally invested with this.
Okay, this movie, and like, what is it? An hour and 50 minutes, whereas the original was 80 minutes. It feels both rushed and like drawn out for no reason.
I will say that, yeah, and I think one of the parts that was like not built well, again, like the heart of the first movie isn't really Lilo and Stitch, it's Lilo and Nani, and I think Lilo and Nani took a long time.
That's not the remake. The remake is Lilo and Stitch, and I think that kind of defeats the whole fucking.
Exactly. It took me a long time for me to care about Lilo and Nani's dynamic in this one. It just didn't really work until like the post-credit scene where they like sleep together. I thought that was really sweet, but it's like
that's
the post-credit scene. Yeah, it's like it's the end of the movie, past the end of the movie. It didn't really earn that sisterhood dynamic, and like
Lilo never gets mad at Stitch, and that's not. Wait, the whole point is that she should get mad at him at some point.
Which I think did a disservice to the third act where Lilo's not taken. I think how's it working in this one? It's like Stitch gets with Stitch gets taken, and then Lilo gets which I'm like I don't think that
kind of defeats also the connection between Stitch and Nani.
Agreed 100%. So yeah, that part. And I made a point about this. I think for some reason the live action film was goofier than the animated movie. In the sense that like, why are we watching these goofy human characters? It felt like I'm watching like Team Rocket, where I'm watching human characters go after Lilo and Stitch, which made for a total disconnect rather than like, because I'm watching,
Jumbo and
Peakley go after Lilo and Stitch as like white people just going after Lilo. It felt so goofy and weird. The guy.
Okay, here's what it is. It tried so hard not to look goofy that it felt goofy.
Exactly, right? Yeah, that's a good point. Because I think I'm just like,
because it's people as aliens the whole time. People don't give a shit.
If they gave me aliens, I wouldn't have been upset at it. But they're giving me humans trying to act like.
Give me Pui in a dress.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, what are we doing here? So
they massacred my boy.
And I like a lot of the looks of the aliens. They look fine. But Jumba's design looked really weird.
Like Disney remake shit.
Yeah.
The Grand Master, whatever, like Hannah Waddingham's character looked great.
That was Hannah Waddingham?
Yeah.
Wow.
Super 2, I guess, at the box office.
she looked really cool. I think Stitch looks really good. I think
she's the Zoe Saldana of 2020.
I think she looked really cool. I just didn't like the one for Jumba at the beginning.
Oh no, it looked fucking
that
gross.
Weird. But everybody else looked fine. It looked cool.
That last thing, that surfing scene, embarrassing.
Yeah,
sauceless. The whole movie sauceless. The opening montage, like, fucking pissed me off already.
Man,
because I rewatched the original right before I saw this, and the opening, like after the alien stuff, like the opening credits of this movie
with
fucking
Lilo.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, going through the city
and like her journey like through the like the hula dance with the intercutting of the hula dance, like fucking
Really good. Really
incredible shit, man.
Good. Yeah.
Also,
And it felt so soulless.
It was so funny in the live action one where she gets pushed. Like they show us with them, all the parents have their phones out, so they're all watching.
That's so stupid. Why are they recording this?
Somebody, I mean, that's their children, but like when somebody pushes Lilo, nobody says a word. But when Lilo pushes her, oh, the parents have an uproar. I'm like, you guys are all recording. Y'all should all saw him or her blatantly push Lilo. It was really weird to me.
I wouldn't know. I missed the first 10 minutes of this.
Good.
Edgar, what are you doing? Get a clock.
This time, good.
In my defense, I didn't think I was gonna be late because usually it's like 15 to 25 minutes of ads, right?
Yeah.
My screening was at 10:15 in the morning, and I got there at 10:30. So I should have been good.
That should have been fine.
Yeah.
Wait, you missed like 5 to 10 minutes getting there at 10:30?
Wow, they only had 5 minutes previous. That's crazy for any.
Yeah, I missed like the whole opening in space, and I missed that scene that you just described.
Wow. Damn,
I mean, honestly, good.
Again, I will say this movie, like, it's serviceable for me. At the end of the day,
Evan, you gave it a 2.5. That's
2.5. Again, 2.5 is a 50%. I think it's 50%.
It's not. It's 45.
No. Okay, motherfucker. Thank God you're not my teacher. Giving you a 45 instead of a 50, fucker.
No curves.
But I would put this above a couple live action remakes easily. Like
I feel like
easily. Like this is better than
the direction is at least a little interesting. I think some of the shots are like the camera movements are interesting. I think the reason why I have this low is it's just pissed me off a lot more.
That's fair. That's completely fair. Because I've heard some people who didn't watch the animated movie really like this movie. So like if you go in like blind, at least you're gonna have a good time.
I still don't believe that, but we'll see.
I watched a couple people say that. But
and they will say the same thing.
I'll put this above. I'll put this above like Maleficent 2. This is better than Snow White from earlier this year.
I like Snow White more than this. I'll say
that's wild. Snow White.
At least we have Rachel Zegler in that movie.
That is true. She's really good.
Yeah.
But the person playing Lilo is really good too.
Yeah.
Josh having beef with a 9-year-old.
He's fine.
Not on my bingo sheet. Oh man.
I love how we talk more about Lilo and Stitch than Mission Impossible.
Did we? No.
Did we?
Let's go back to Mission Impossible.
Oh my god, we did.
I don't know. How long did we talk 10 minutes on that? Shit, I don't know.
We talked 14 on Final Reckoning, and we talked for almost 20 minutes on this movie.
On this fucking.
How did that happen? Anyways, what else did we see this month, guys?
Final Destination. I don't know if.
Oh yes, I saw it.
I
saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time with this movie.
Saw it right after Lilo and Stitch. It was a great mouthwash.
Did you imagine that little boy that got smushed by the piano was Stitch? Or what?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
That opening scene is so good.
The whole opening sequence is one of my favorites in the entire.
Wait, this is my first Final Destination movie, and I say it worked really well. It's a great standalone, and
that's good. Yeah, we didn't get a lot of flashbacks in this movie.
I think the most
was there any connection?
They mentioned the plane.
Tony Todd is from the old movies. Okay.
Yeah. He's in every movie. I think every movie, right?
Really?
Except for
except the race car one 4.
Okay. That's what I thought. I was like, they're playing this up as a legacy character. I was like, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it was so sad because like this is like his last performance, I think, or at least the directors said that like they just had him talk from the heart about like in that whole scene. And I think it really worked.
It's kind of crazy how it worked out.
It's kind of crazy how that worked out. One of those miracles of filmmaking. But like he was really good here. Like Edgar said, the only other callbacks were like on the drawings where you saw like a plane, saw like a log truck or something.
Yeah.
That's about it. But overall, yes, this had all the hallmarks of trademarks of what I like about the Final Destination franchise. A killer opening sequence that really took me for a loop. narratively, I'm like, oh, like it just kept going on and on and on. Fantastic build up, great main character. So I really like the whole.
Is that a staple of these movies where it's like kind of like a stream opening where it's kind of like an anthology type thing?
Basically, yeah, we're just like you're following it. You're like, is this going to be the opening death sequence? Is this the setting? And yeah, like the whole, cavalcade of death tracking this person on the, what is it, Seattle Tower? I don't know where they were.
It looks like it.
But... with that Space Needle, but
Space Needle kind of thing, yeah.
Mm.
But it was just so well done. Some of the CGI visual effects were hit and miss.
The camera work though was fucking great.
Camera work was really strong. That asshole kid was hilarious. But yeah, I really loved the opening sequence. And then early on in the movie, I was getting worried because one of my favorite aspects of the Foundation franchise was the crew of it all. Like I like having the main character with a certain group of friends, kind of like in the Scream franchise, where like you have to have your friend and you have to tell them like, hey, this is what's going on, guys. Earlier parts of the movie didn't really have that. The main daughter's kind of like on her own. I'm like, I need her with the crew.
Once we get to the family, it pits.
Yeah,
sure.
Once her family gets involved and like you finally get everybody being like, "Oh shit, we might die." That's
the
when
barbecue really sequence.
That was
makeouts. So good.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like that part. The whole family aspect was really tight and nice, especially her and her brother was really strong. Her and her mother wasn't as strong for me, but it worked at the end. And yeah, I liked a lot of the death sequences as well. It was just a very, very, very fun time.
The final scene was really fun.
It is really fun. The sequence at the tattoo shop, incredible.
So cool, so cool.
Okay, spoilers for Final Destination Bloodlines. I've never seen somebody get killed, well, partially get killed by a fucking, basically a cock ring. I was like, oh fuck.
A piercing, yeah.
Yeah, that was the hospital scene was probably one of the most gnarliest deaths in the
What was that machine?
That was like an MRI machine, right?
Like reverse magnet, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. I've never been in one of those, but fuck.
I'm shocked that they apparently showed that entire sequence at CinemaCon.
Really?
Wow, really? That's
yeah. Yeah, I think one of the quotes from the Paramount people after they showed it, they were like, "Oh, see you at the Oscars," something like that. But no, yeah, I really like this movie. I watched all of the Final Destination franchise for the first time leading up to this, and I really, really like the first two. The first one, it's interesting because once you go back and watch them, Josh, if you watch them,
I want to, at least the first couple.
Yeah, the first one almost feels like
it's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of like a David Fincher-esque thriller.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. It's one of those early 2000s thrillers, and you can completely tell from that.
So it's more of a thriller. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second one, that's when it kind of slowly starts to transition to being a little bit more of a
more goofy
horror. You understand the formula going in.
But that sequence, I mean, it's like meme to death on the internet. But that sequence with the log truck, my God, incredible!
Yeah. Never drive behind log trucks, never.
Yeah. And also I just
one of them has a roller coaster, right?
That's
the third one. Yeah.
Okay, I remember seeing that like advertised
with our girl Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I heard about that. Yeah.
The only person in this franchise to go on to do great things. Yeah, right.
I mean, Tony Todd. Yeah. He's Tanny Man.
Yeah, Tony Todd's like
he's like a supporting.
Voice acting wise, Tony Todd's a legend. But yeah, I think you might be right there.
Yeah. But yeah, like I just love like again like going back to that sequence with the truck, how practical it feels, how tangible the carnage like looks.
Oh, yeah.
Then after that, all of them just kind of go more like CGI route, starting with the third one, which is still fun.
2 has a great elevator one that always gets stuck in my head as well. Mm-hmm. The elevator kill sequence.
So the first 2 are like more practical?
First 2, I would say.
Yeah. But I do respect 3 is one that I didn't like when I was growing up that much, but when I go back to rewatch 3, I actually respect it a lot. I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the best main character of the franchise, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And 3, I think 3 is the one with the ballerina, or not the ballerina, but the gymnastics. Is that 3?
I want to say
3 or 5. But I love the gymnastics scene. That one's really, really cool.
Wait, I thought Stephanie was really good.
Oh, Stephanie.
I haven't seen her
yeah.
anything before, but I think
Yeah, me neither.
No,
But she's
she's
really,
really
good here. She was really good here. I really liked
No,
it.
I'm
she
starting to
reminded me a
think-
lot of not just in the look, but in like the way she acts of our girl
Yes,
Melissa.
Melissa.
what movie? What show?
Oh,
Abigail in the Heights.
Yeah. Melissa.
Melissa Barrera.
Barrera.
Yeah, she reminded me a lot of her.
A little bit. Yeah.
But I think the gymnastics one is actually 5 because isn't she the girlfriend of the guy?
Yes.
That then
Might be 5. Is 5 the one also when he's lifting weights? Is that 5 as well? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place.
Yeah, they kind of blend together after a while.
They blend
There's
together.
5 before this one.
There's 5 before this one. 5 is like one of my favorites. I think I might go like 2, 5, 1, 3, 4. 2, 5, 1, 3, 4. Yeah,
Where's Bloodlines fit in that?
I don't know. 2, 5, 1, 3. Maybe third or fourth. But yeah, Bloodlines is really strong. I just had a very fun time. It's goofy as hell. It's fun as hell. The family dynamic is different, but also pretty strong as well. It really works. I kind of like discovering like the mystery with her family, what she had to deal with.
I do like the fake outs of the one kid not spoilers not being part of the family.
Oh my god. One of the funniest line
funny.
deliveries of the year. It's like, is that what you mean by playing cat? Or something like that. That was a killer delivery.
And that guy, the actor, was really good too.
Oh, he was great in the 100. He's great.
Richard Harmon.
Richard Harmon, yeah, he was one of my
Trick or
favorite
Treat.
characters in the 100. Is he in Trick or Treat?
Who's he in that?
Who the fuck?
I think he's one of the boys in the bus.
The bus that dies.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Vampire Kid, it says.
Yeah, there you go.
Vampire Kid. Yeah, Richard Harmon was like a scene stealer in the CW, the 100.
Yeah, I love how he's
in Percy Jackson, the movie.
I don't believe that.
But I love how they kind of like switched the whole dynamic with like the guy that's like the bully of the group, but you kind of like him in this.
He's caring.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great fun time, a great revitalization of the franchise. Also, I think having rewatched the whole franchise, Edgar, would you agree that the one in Bloodlines, the setups for the kills are very quick? In Bloodlines, like they happen. It's like we think this is gonna happen, and then boom. Like in other movies, the setup is much more methodical. This one's a very fast-paced death sequences where they just like they talk about it and then it just kind of just happens. I think the hospital was the one that was just most like, but the hospital one wasn't even set up. They just go in there, it turns on, and then shit just starts happening.
And also,
I like the setup of it, like of how they were gonna flatline. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
that was cool too. Yeah, I agree.
And also, they spent a lot of time in that fake out at a tattoo shop.
The tattoo shop. Yeah, that one was probably the most like laid out. But yeah, I did like the fast-paced nature of the deaths. The other ones are much more either quicker or more slower in tension. But yeah, very fun horror movie. Definitely memorable.
It's weird because as like standalone as you guys are saying it is, it definitely, I don't know, the mom felt like a character from a previous movie, the way she was written.
Oh, maybe.
Do you understand what I'm saying though?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, they do reveal that she was like the one in contact with Todd's character. So.
Yeah. What else do we have here?
How much time do you have left, Edgar?
I can go for a few more, maybe like another 40 minutes, maybe.
That's a lot. We got time. Did you guys watch the Netflix movie Havoc with Tom Hardy?
I started watching it, and then I took it off.
It's not good.
Wow, restraint from Edgar.
Well, I had to go to work. That's why.
Okay.
But will I continue? Who knows?
It's not good. This is Netflix really.
This is the guy who did the raid, right?
Yeah, Netflix really honed my guy down. I mean, I don't think he honed him down because it has like that signature, like frantic style of direction. Let me get the director's name here.
Gareth Evans, I think.
Gareth Evans, like he has like his signature direction, fast paced, frantic, all over the place camera work. But like in Raid, it's much more. How do I say it? Much more handled, I guess.
I watch his movies.
The Raid? Oh yeah, one of the best movies of all time. Action movies of all time. The first two are impeccable, like 5 out of 5, both of them. This one's just like the story is so bad. It's like, oh, he's a cop who's has a bad past. He's a bad cop, but then he's trying to do better. Oh, this is one last job. I'm like, oh, this is just the story is so not compelling, not interesting in the slightest. It's really boring, really predictable. It
looks awful. Like it looks like a video game,
really.
like a Grand Theft Auto.
Again, yeah. Which is weird. I don't want to say Netflix like toned down his direction because it has his same style of direction, but it just looks worse here for some reason. It looks worse here.
Well,
it's not as controlled.
Probably the lighting.
Yeah, probably just the lighting. Yeah, cinematography there. Just not a great balance of everything here.
It looks too clean, even though it wants to convey that
that gritty,
dirty like city and
exactly. It's trying to convey like a gritty underworld-esque city, but it's just not doing it in a fun way. There is a great shootout at the clubhouse that they go to. Some great sequence there, but that's really
way too long though.
It goes way too long. That's really the only sequence that I like. But even within that sequence, certain things are happening to the characters I just do not care about at all.
I'm like, am I supposed to care that this person died? Because
right, Edgar. Like the character work is so bad. It's so bad. I did not like this movie at all. It's really saved by a select few action sequences, and that's it.
But speaking of action, Fight or Flight, go watch it. Go support my boy Josh.
I want to see this. This is like in theaters for like a day, motherfuckers. Like I didn't have time to see it.
They dare to ask, what if Bullet Train, but good?
What if Josh Hartnett had bleached hair?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see this so badly, but it's still like $25 online.
Is it like Bayhem-esque?
Wait, what?
Bayhem? I bet that.
It's kind of like First Kingsman, kind of like goofy.
Oh, okay.
I like that. First Kingsman is peak.
Yeah, like there's like there's a particular sequence towards the end where it just like. I mean, do you want? No.
Don't spoil.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you because I didn't know this about the movie until I was watching it. But it gets crazy. There's a lot of people fighting on the plane, and
there's mad again.
And it kind of has like the vibe, almost kind of like the church sequence from Kingston. So
yeah,
it's fun.
I do like a good like plane heist, not heist, but plane action movie.
This guy did second unit on Rise of the Beast.
Oh, your favorite Transformers movies?
Yeah. Not the Bay ones. It's not me.
It's not. Not Dark of the Moon.
He was the assistant director for the Meg. So there you go.
The Meg. I do not like the Meg 2. Meg 2 with hardly any Megs.
So bad. There's no Megs.
There's no Megs.
That's Steelbook though. Steelbook's fucking great.
This guy.
For the Meg 2?
The Meg, the first one.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what it looks like. What is it? Is the Meg on it?
Let me show you.
It's like an homage to the Jaws poster.
Oh, with like the Meg up on the bottom.
Here, with this like I thought about doing this even though the movie's probably shit.
First Meg is pretty okay. Yeah, I see that. That's pretty cool.
It's great.
I like that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett. Go support my.
Josh Hartnett. Yeah, is it better than?
I guess. Okay.
No.
Do we want to segue to another Josh Hartnett thing that I rewatched?
Did you rewatch
Oppenheimer?
No. What'd you watch?
The Bear.
Oh.
The TV show, The Bear.
Yeah.
This guy.
Did my rewatch before
all of it?
4. I did.
How bad is season 4?
It's fucking great. How dare you?
I can't tell you.
You need to rewatch it. You need to rewatch it.
It's so boring. I'm like,
it's not boring.
It took me like 3 weeks to watch that season last time. Was that last
rewatch
season?
it like with the context of knowing it's
not good.
Like a season 3 leading up to season 4. I think it works. I think it's more of a character study than
that's my problem. I didn't. Season 2 was a strong character study. And I didn't get that in season 3. It's like a lesser.
Why didn't you?
Season 2.
What?
Season 2 was a character study of what happened from.
What was your like? Why didn't you like season 3 then?
I didn't feel like I got enough character work there, and the character work was really boring or really flat. I think again the napkins episode, was it? That was a strong episode.
The Tina episode.
That's kind of it. I can't even tell you the arc that Ayo Edebiri's character goes through in season 3.
She's trying to figure out if she wants to continue with the bear.
Oh yeah, and that storyline was just stalled for like 10 episodes. Did she make a decision by the finale?
Not really, because the whole point of it is that she's kind of like going back and forth throughout that with the actions of season 3.
I mean, yeah. How long can you go back and forth though? That was my problem.
We'll find out.
It's still not finished.
It's a fucking episode of TV.
We had 10 episodes and nothing gets finished. 10 episodes, really? Like, come on.
It's a season of television, Evan. Everything's not going to be resolved.
I hate that. Yes, you can have season resolved issues. You can continue, but still have.
Okay, but you should also have things that go from season to season.
Yes, you can. But having a character journey like for any of the characters not be like relatively resolved, or at least have some kind of finality to it.
I disagree on what television is, I guess. But I think it's interesting to have stuff go continue.
So what was the compelling part of her going back and forth? What do they want us to learn about her character in season 3?
If she's part of the family or not.
But that's not resolved yet. Like
exactly.
That's wild.
That's not wild, dude. It's spent episode of TV to be episodic.
No, but like for example, if you watch Succession has.
This isn't Succession.
No, wait, it has 4 seasons, right?
That's more like
4 seasons.
Okay,
we're on the same page. But
that's different though.
It has an arc, right? I can tell you what happened from episode 1, season 2 to the end of season 2. Episode 1 is season 3 to end. Like each season has an arc that he goes through. For the bear, I'm like, she's back and forth. I don't know if I want to join the bear at all. It's like I don't care anymore. It's been 10 episodes. I'm done with it.
Fair. Okay, fair enough.
And then, and then Carmi is going back. I
fundamentally disagree. But
Carmi went back and forth the entire season as well.
These are normal, like actual people.
So I'm just watching them go through their lives. I'm like,
that's the point of the show.
Is it?
Yes.
Boring.
This is a preview for The Last of Us discussion.
Boring. Be the opposite for Last of Us. Yeah, I was just so bored. I was just so bored with the bear.
Rewatch it.
Is there a certain episode because I remember vividly that there were certain episodes I'm like I didn't miss a thing. And like the whole episode with the mom and the sister didn't care for it.
Really?
Didn't care for it.
That's just like fucking acting showcase right there.
Cool. She's great.
If you just don't like the characters, then that's fine.
I do. I liked them a lot in season 2. Season 2 was phenomenal television. Phenomenal.
I don't think it's that much of a step down from season 2, but
it's a huge step down.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we should disagree.
I guess. Edgar, where are you at, motherfucker?
I like it. I do understand why you might think or might see it as a like nothing gets resolved, because as you were like comparing it to Succession, a similar season where a lot of issues aren't resolved, like season 3, where it literally ends on a cliffhanger.
Yes,
with the whole thing with Tom, but still, like you do have an arc of the siblings coming together, and that's just gonna continue to season 4.
Oh, that's just what the show is. Whereas the bear is more of a dysfunctional group of people, and I think it's more experimental with its storytelling.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. I will give it that. And I'm usually on board with that style because, like, a lot of people, at least my dad, he didn't like certain episodes of season 2, but I thought they were so fascinating on a character level, following like the chaos of season 1. Season 3 for me, it was just like it was more of the same but lesser. Like I liked episode 1 to season 3. That was really strong.
I disagree. I think it's very different in season 2. Like tomorrow at the opening episode of him going through like all his memories, like I think that's fucking interesting.
That's unique. Yeah, I agree. I think that was a good episode. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Just rewatch it, and I think you might enjoy it more.
If it was like 6 episodes, I would probably watch it. But 10 episodes, just like
they're 30 minutes.
Oof.
Evan, you cannot fucking say this to me. The person who watches fucking anime and reality shows every night.
Bro has the same.
And while also fucking playing Elden Ring and Expedition 33. How do you have this much time?
I have a lot of time. I'm going to bed at 7 o'clock every night. 7 a.m.
Oh,
He's
shit.
like Nicole Kidman. He has 72-hour days.
I really
Exactly.
do. But yeah, I was planning on rewatching certain shows, but yeah, I
I'm
think
sure
I'll
you
do
fit
that.
in fucking 5 hours of the bear, Evan.
I
Before
can do that.
June,
I
then
can do that.
June.
I can do that. I can do that. I promise. I promise. And then I'll
When
come
is-
back and be like, you know what?
When
Maybe I
is
changed my mind.
when is season 4
See?
coming?
June
June
23rd, I think.
23rd, end of June. I have time.
There you go.
I have like 3 weeks.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
And Big
Fit
Brother's
in
not starting
5
yet,
hours
so-
of good TV.
Yeah. Big Brother's not on yet, so I have time.
Fucking die.
That's in July. It's in July.
Did you
Anyway.
watch the JoJo Siwa stuff?
The fuck is that? What is
Wasn't she on
JoJo
Big Brother?
No? Who?
JoJo Siwa.
Do you not know who that is?
Who's that?
Really?
This
I don't-
guy.
Oh man.
Show me a picture.
She's like the lesbian pop star who became not a lesbian on the show.
Wow.
I thought you watched all Big Brother.
Just a US Big Brother. Let
She
me
was on
see.
that Celebrity Big Brother or something with Mickey Rourke.
What?
We're breaking
How do you
his
not know
brain.
this? Yeah, how do I know more about this than you?
Wait, now I want to see this. Big Brother star.
Mickey Rourke
Mickey Rourke.
was homophobe to her.
Oh, this is UK Big Brother.
Oh, okay. That's where you draw the line.
That's right.
He has boundaries, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Celebrity Big Brother. Anyways. Yeah.
She's
Alright.
British?
No.
Then what the fuck is she doing over there? Okay.
Anyways.
What?
Back to movies.
I watched Fear Street Prom Queen, just my new least favorite movie of the year.
Oh, okay.
That's because you haven't seen Electric State.
I have not. That you're lying that was this year. You are lying. That did not
It's
come
like
out this
last
year.
month.
That's wild.
That came out in March.
March?
That felt like a 2022 kind of movie. I don't know why. That's crazy.
Well, that was the Gray Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Is this
Prom
Fear
Queen,
Street Prom Queen? Okay.
it's bad. It's really bad. Bad.
I never
characterization.
finished the trilogy. Does that was the same?
Trilogy's great. This is like bad characterization, horrible horror tropes. I mean, you get your classic good horror tropes. This one is just like all the bad ones. I don't trust my friend when the friend's obviously right. The audience knows she's right, and you're just watching the character make bad decisions, which bad decision making is cool on certain TV shows. This one, not that fascinating, not that interesting.
The reveal of who the killer is, like, who is
Bad.
this man? Who is this?
It
It's like-
adamantly made me like the movie even less than I already was. Because
It's like
yeah.
like that meme of Kiki Palmer of like, I don't know who this man is.
I don't know who
Sorry
this guy
to-
is. Sorry to this man. But yeah, it's like, a good reveal could usually heighten a movie. Every Scream movie, Scream 5, for example, I'm like, oh, that was a good reveal. But like this one, I'm just like, oh, this is just bad. Like it's not compelling. It doesn't add anything to the movie. It just makes everything goofier in a bad way. And then the whole last, like the movie kept on going after that. I'm like, oh man, we're still doing this, and it's just nothing improved. It was really bad. I don't see how it connected to the Fear Street mythology at all, besides the last like 2 seconds of the movie. Otherwise, yeah, bad movie. I was in pain watching it. I saw The Amateur.
Green Hard Eyes.
Hard Eyes is good. It's fun. It's fun. Hard Eyes is fun.
No.
Okay. I saw The Amateur finally. It was a bad basic revenge thriller with Rami Malek. It was basic. You'll watch this on TNT, but that was cool.
I just don't buy him as a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I didn't buy-
he's
I didn't-
villain for sure.
I didn't buy his revenge angle of it all. And then the movie just doesn't go all the way with it either. So I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Spoilers. Is
Karate-
Rachel Brosnahan actually dead?
Yeah.
I think she is. Yeah.
What's the point of this movie?
I was surprised. I was like, oh, I thought she was gonna be like alive. I thought it would be like a trick or
Stupid.
something. But no, she actually did. She died.
They
Um,
shot her dead, I think, or something. I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. I saw Karate Kid Legends. Anybody else?
This movie.
Mm.
I actually like it. It was a fine watch. I
It's
guess.
fine. Like, I saw this with my mom. My mom had a fun time. It's very goofy, very cheesy. As a Cobra Kai fan, I was prepared for the level of cheesiness. It's even more cheesier than Cobra Kai. But
I think
unlike
the cast
Cobra
is
Kai,
really good. I think that
yes,
the dynamics are really fun.
yes,
There's something that this movie does that I was like, if this movie commits to this bit, I'll forgive it, and they just
What is
don't.
it?
Okay, so
What bit is
spoilers for the Karate Kid. So the main character, I forgot what's his name, Lee
Sure.
something. Ben Wong's
Is this the kid from DD?
No.
No.
I thought it was the
We're like,
same
no.
name.
What's D? Oh, no, totally different. Yeah, totally
Okay.
different.
No, yeah, but he was in Mean Girls, so the music.
But Ben Wong is really good.
Yeah, but like, so there's a setup at the beginning of this movie, like towards the end of the first act, where it's established that maybe the Karate Kid part of the title is not him actually being competing on a tournament. It's him actually training an adult to go and compete on like whatever he needs to.
That
But
was baffling to me too. By the way. Yeah.
Okay,
but wait,
explain to me what this movie is.
Edgar, I actually I think I differ from you there because like I didn't like the first. I like the characters again.
I don't think the execution is good. But
why
I
am I
think the
watching
idea-
a boxing thing in a Karate Kid Legends movie? Like this movie doesn't feel like a Karate Kid kind of movie.
Wait,
Like,
okay,
don't even
so I could not care less about this franchise. I'll just put that there first.
Okay. Go watch
You're
Cobra
missing
Kai.
out.
So Ralph Macchio, obviously from the original movies, and in Cobra Kai. Then we have Jackie Chan from the reboot. How are they? How are they connected?
Different coastlines. Ralph Macchio is San Francisco.
Oh, so it's the same universe.
Same universe. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I thought Jackie Chan was Miyagi.
No.
The
no.
reboot. Oh,
No.
okay, interesting.
Well, it was a reboot, not a remake.
Yeah.
Got it.
He was a sensei from.
So
Sorry.
there's no Jaden Smith in this,
He's alive.
He's alive.
but
Hopefully
not in this movie.
Yeah, not in this movie.
Selling
Missed
just water.
opportunities.
But this movie, it's not kicking in like the whole Legends aspect of it all because it's not all the way about karate. Like the first 30 minutes, he's helping this guy with boxing, which has nothing to do with karate. A little bit, like he's learning certain lessons, but even then, he's learning kung fu lessons. The karate aspect happens in the third act. It's kind of weird for me,
Yeah, it kind of like speeds through the karate part at the end.
right? It's like
But,
why is
like-
it called Karate Kid? It's Kung
But
Fu Kid.
I thought the idea in and of itself, again, the execution not really there, but the idea of kind of like spinning the title of like, oh, Karate Kid, but the kid is not the student, he's the teacher.
That was cool. I did like that.
I thought that was like a really good idea. Again, the movie doesn't really do much with it and doesn't really even commit to the idea.
It turns it
So-
into a trope. It's like, oh man, I feel bad now. Then I got to recover. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like the whole impetus for him joining the tournament wasn't as nearly as compelling or interesting. It was just like, okay, you had a big falling out incident. Now you're in the tournament. It's like, okay, interesting.
So does this
But-
connect to Cobra Kai?
Hello.
Yes and no. Yes, yeah, I was gonna say yes, mostly yes. In the sense that like, you get Ralph Macchio back, but the big connection happens like in the last 5 seconds of the movie that I really liked. But otherwise, like, it's different. And I was kind of worried as a Cobra Kai fan. I'm like, how is it going to connect? But like having seen the end of Cobra Kai, everything kind of fits. It makes sense why things are the way they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a Legends kind of movie, like I think it does a title a disservice. It's not a lot of karate. The tournament angle wasn't that fun. The fighting was cool. Some of the fight sequences were really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid, fun time.
I think one of the the movie tries to make its thematic like renaissance be this idea of two branches, one tree, of having like two separate
Karate,
styles
kung
of karate like forming into one, and you can use it to be whatever you want in the future. Blah blah blah. But again, the movie doesn't really like do anything with any of that.
Agreed. But Ben Wong, I liked him in that one Disney Plus TV show he was in.
Sadie Stanley, she's really fun.
Which one? She was the girlfriend?
Yeah.
She was really good too. Yeah. What else was she been in?
Let me see.
I remember when Cobra Kai was a YouTube original.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it as a YouTube original. I watched it when it came on Netflix. Yeah.
Just a bunch of Disney shit too.
Okay, but yeah, she was good. She was good too. So hopefully they have a good career.
Terrible villain.
Oh my god, Edgar, bad. It was hilariously bad. I was like, can this guy have any depth at all? At all? Just give him one conversation of depth, please. Like, or is he just mad the whole time? Okay, he's just mad the whole time. Got it.
Sounds like another show we'll get into.
Wow. But yeah, I did like the movie overall. It was fine. But yeah, let's get into. Oh, before we get into Last of Us, I liked this movie on Netflix. It's animated called Lost in Starlight. It's Netflix's first Korean animated movie. It is fantastic. I loved it. Super emotional. It's romantic. Is it sci-fi? Not really. I guess it's sci-fi, yeah, because it's like futuristic. There was like futuristic South Korea. This woman wants to be kind of like an astronaut, go to Mars. This other guy is like a tech guy, but he wants to be a musician. They come across each other. It's very romantic, and they really help improve each other's lives. The romance is incredible. The animation is breathtaking. Their character journeys are really strong. And yeah, I think there's like a visual masterpiece backed by a really emotional and heartfelt relationship at its core, that both like strengthens each other's arcs by the end of the movie. I was tearing up a little bit by the end. I think this is a fantastic animated movie. So yeah, I would really recommend people watch Lost in Starlight, because Netflix usually does a lot of Japanese, anime movies. This is its first South Korean animated movie on Netflix, and it's only 90 minutes too.
Edgar, how much time do you have left?
I can say for maybe like
20 minutes.
10 more minutes, 10, 15. We could talk about Bring Her Back and the Life of Chuck if you want, real quick.
And do you want to do Hurry Up Tomorrow real quick also?
Yeah, sure.
Let's get the last one before Edgar leaves.
I don't think he's gonna really pitch in that much there.
It's all right, Bob.
What do you want to talk about more, Edgar? The Weekend or Last of Us?
Well, yeah, tell me how Hurry Up Tomorrow is. I didn't see.
I mean, there's not much to talk about Hurry Up Tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
the movie looks really fucking good, but
It's a Traylor Schultz movie until it isn't.
Okay. I love Waves. You guys saw Waves.
Exactly, yeah. The first half of this movie is like very much like in the style of Waves. The visuals are incredible, and I like the dream like feel of it. But then when the twist happens, it just kind of loses all its steam.
yeah, like the conceptually, it's interesting of having this like musician trying to comment on like the culture around him, but it just like almost feels like kind of like cringy instead of like interesting.
And it's The Weeknd is a fucking shit actor.
Yeah, I remember seeing the memes about that, but I trust you guys more. Is it really bad, or is this like social media?
It's not the worst I've seen, but he's pretty bad.
It's not again.
I think he's worse than the Idol, but he just doesn't have the shit to like do what the movie.
He's going toe to toe with Jenna, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, he's not awful, but when you put yourself opposite of somebody like Jenna Ortega, it becomes more noticeable how.
And when he has the dialogue that he has in this, he just can't deliver it.
It's just very whiny dialogue, kind of like Anakin in the prequels.
And the ending scene, I think like he just does not have what it takes for that.
I don't even remember what happens in the end.
Like just
relate to that part too.
But yeah, this movie looks really good.
Okay, yeah, I remember watching the trailer, being like, "Oh man, this looks cool. Like this looks fascinating." Okay, yeah, Lionsgate not having a great year. They can't wait for Hunger Games.
And Ballerina, maybe.
And Ballerina, I forgot about
Big
that.
Another one me and Edgar both saw, Friendship.
Oh yeah.
Oh, people are loving this movie. How was Friendship?
I really loved it.
I liked it. I never want to watch this movie ever again in my life.
Because it's too like cringy, funny.
No, it's like it's balances a fine line of like really fucking funny, but also like kind of like existential with its portrayal of like how men are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might want to watch this.
I don't think it's for you.
Okay,
No.
never mind. I'm
But you should
50-50
watch
when
it.
I'm 50-50 when it comes to comedy most of the time. Like, I'm
I don't think Tim
following
Robinson's
that.
for you, Evan.
Okay, probably not.
But I loved it. Man, the whole the joke about the meal SEAL Team Sits ate.
Yeah.
So good.
There's
Paul
some
Rudd's
line
great in this.
there's some line deliveries here that are just like epic. Like they're like really really good. Which one is it? Like it's one in the beginning. Spoilers, I guess, for this movie, where we discovered that his wife, I'm forgetting the actress's name.
Kate Mara.
Yeah. That she kisses her son in the lips, and like he just the reaction that he has is just
The son is
fucking
Jack
hilarious.
Dylan Glazer too.
Like the cast in this movie is really fucking funny. And there's this like ongoing bit
the
about
fraud drug trip.
yeah.
The subway.
There's
Watch this
like
movie
ongoing,
if you like weird comedy.
there's this ongoing bit about him wanting to watch a movie and everybody just keeps spoiling it, and it's just like really really cool.
There's a new Marvel out. It's nuts.
But yeah, I again, like, would I watch this again? No, I don't. I wouldn't want to put myself
I
through this
will.
again, but I'd recommend watching it at least once. Give it a try.
Okay. What else?
And,
You got? Rip Tomorrow, Friendship.
Bring Mid back.
Sure.
Oh, we need to talk about Bring Me Back. Okay, let's break this down before I
There's gonna be another Lilo and Stitch rant.
Not really. I'm because I talked about it with you guys. I trust you guys, but then I watched a review. I watched like 2 to 3 reviews last night. Talking about the movie, and they really loved it. And I'm like, did I miss something? I might want to rewatch it now because I watched so many reviews that really admired and loved it. Said it's better than Talk to Me, and I'm like, man, maybe I just missed it.
I think it's kind of like very hollow.
I don't. Man,
I feel like it's trying to be so dense with its emotions and its depth, where it just comes across like I don't really care.
I don't know if it's hollow. It's just I couldn't connect the feature of full spoilers for Bringing Back. I know it's a recent horror movie, but like I want to break this down. So spoilers for Bringing Back. I think Sally Field, right? Sally Hawkins. Which one?
Sally Hawkins.
Sally Hawkins.
Incredible in this. I will say that.
Incredible. I loved her in this. And I think the horror is some really deliciously horrifying.
Really shot. The scene with like the blood on the window. Oh my god.
The blood on the window was really good. I love the knife in the children's mouth was really unnerving. Was great. The way he's eating his arm, fantastic.
Sound design, great.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god, like this is like I couldn't take my eyes away from this movie. I had a very similar feeling from Talk to Me where dark shit is happening, but I couldn't take my eyes away from it. I was gravitated towards like the horror aspect. And they do horror, they capture horror in such a unique and unnerving way.
I think the problem is that, like I said, it's hollow, and I don't think it's careful enough for its subject matter. I don't think it explores this cycle of abuse as well as it could have, and how like generational abuse and how that's like a through line through this. They don't focus enough on it, or if they do, it's just to like progress a cheap scare.
No, I don't think it was a cheap scare. I don't think there were any.
Maybe not a cheap scare, but just like it does it in like disservice to the characters.
I would push back against that part at least. I think it did well for the kids. By the way, I think every single kid was fantastic as well here. They get really good child performances in both their movies.
I think their dialogue is a little weird, like cringy, but the acting is good.
Really? I think I liked how raw and natural a lot of their dialogue is. Like the whole grapefruit aspect of it all. I really liked
that. Felt forced.
Forced. I really liked it.
I didn't feel it. I feel like it felt that natural.
I really felt their sibling dynamic really strongly. For me, I just couldn't gravitate to specifically Sally Hawkins's grief.
Motivation. Yeah.
And her motivation. I know she wants to get her child back, but by kidnapping Connor was the missing kid. She kidnapped Connor and made him made at least them feel like that was her nephew or whatever. But like, was her purpose to have Connor help with the whole getting her daughter back? What was Connor's purpose?
She needed
her daughter back.
They show a video of like these angels eating the corpses, right? Then they come back.
I
alive or
like the
something like
video
that.
stuff. That was really cool.
They don't explore it as much, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not. They
I
should.
don't think they need to, right? They
Yeah.
just show as much as they.
Look,
I feel like
okay.
they needed to.
Here's the thing. I hate when movies over explain their lore, but sometimes in the case like a movie like this, I feel like it's needed. And I'm gonna compare it to Talk to Me
Fair.
because yeah, sure, very different horror movies, but one of the things that makes Talk to Me work so well is because yes, the premise is simple, but it's not only that it's simple, it's explained within just minutes. Like the opening scene, you get what it is. Like it's
not
this thing-
convoluted.
yeah, it's not convoluted. It's just like you grab the hand, you talk to it, something comes from the other side, and then it possesses you. It's very simple to follow, and also like you understand where the kids got the hand from because it opens with the tragedy of the other kid that dies. So again, everything it's explained to you within like 5 or 10 minutes.
It's a lot of a smarter movie than this.
Yeah, and then you come to this movie and everything is very vague to the point that and somebody else way smarter than put it together is way smarter than I am, but they said like if I didn't know the title of this movie, I wouldn't know what Sally Hawkins was doing the whole time until
that was the part that was bringing me down. I'm like, if I was able to grapple with what Sally Hawkins, because I think at the end of the day she wants her daughter back, but like the way that
the means of why she's doing it,
exactly,
they never really say.
But what does Connor have to do with bringing her daughter back? Was he like a test run or something?
No, I think what's happening, from what I understand from the video, is that you need somebody to get possessed by this demon. So the demon, or well, she says that it's an angel, but it's very clear a fucking demon, lady. Yeah. Like, come on. So the demon inside of the possessed person can then go and grab the soul of the dead person, and then that demon goes and puts it.
It should have been
just
jumbled.
Yeah, like it's like I shouldn't have to like have a hard time explaining.
It should be more clear.
Yeah, I was just really grappling with that, and by that being so confusing and convoluted, I really couldn't connect with her feeling of grief by the end. It came across as like just a crazy.
And it's also weird because the movie, it doesn't necessarily gives her like a redemption arc, but it almost treats it as it.
I don't think so. I think it has a pretty dark ending for her. I mean, she just.
Also, like another thing that bothered me about her ending is that, like, really, you're gonna tell me that this little girl saying "mom" is the thing that like snapped you out of it? Like, I like you're like killed 2 people like just like a few hours ago, and this thing is the one thing that's gonna snap you out of it. I don't know.
Well, I believe that because she thought that her daughter was back in this person.
Yeah, I felt pretty weak.
I also feel like this movie.
But it's one of those things that this happens a lot in like. Yeah.
I feel like this movie would have worked a little bit more if they would have committed to the full dark ending, with just like her like getting her daughter back or something. Because you already killed the boy and the other social worker, so might as well just go the extra mile.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it happens a lot in revenge tales where they go so far, but then back out at the last minute. This happened in some South Korean movie that I was watching. I'm just like, you killed like 20, 30 people, but then you don't kill like the last person. Like, why not? So that kind of bugged me. It kind of even happened in Amateur too. So that part bugged me. But yeah, again, I just wish I was connecting more to Sally Hawkins' story in this, because I think that was like the big sticking point for me. Because again, I liked everything the kids were going through. I think that was really fascinating. But yeah.
Do you want to talk about Life of Shock real quick, or you want to save it?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Ooh, I mean, we could just touch about it real quick, but
no spoilers. To see your reactions, your feelings.
I love this movie. It's very sincere, like a lot of Mike Flanagan's past work, but like it just dials it up to 11 with the sincerity. I think the character work is fantastic. The score in this movie is great. There's a particular I cannot wait to be listening to a particular track in this movie that happens during a dance sequence,
which is the thing I mentioned earlier that rivals Sinners for Scene of the Year. This dance sequence is fucking magic, man.
Yeah, and I just really like how he plays with the structure of the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it exactly because I didn't know about it going in, but he does something really fun with the structure.
Okay.
It really works. Like, I think if it wasn't structured like this, it wouldn't work half as well.
Okay.
Um,
How are the performances?
I mean, it's Flanagan, of course. he did fucking great performances. Kate Siegel has one scene, one monologue that like just wraps the whole movie together, and it's incredible. Mark Hamill doing some of his best work. Tom Hiddleston, great. Karen Gillan and Chiwetel Ejiofor are like, without saying much, they're mainly in the first act, and it's really good, interesting work. God, that first act is so interesting. I can't wait to talk about it.
We'll go into spoilers next time.
But yeah, this movie is magic. I'm honestly a little surprised this won People's Choice and has been so universally praised in a time where movies that are like overly sentimental and saccharine like this kind of get shit on sometimes or aren't taken seriously. But I'm glad this one is, at least.
I feel like part of the reason why people have embraced this movie is because, again, not diving into spoilers, but the first act of this movie is very existential and it feels very relevant to what
it kind of like
we're going
haunts
through.
over the rest of the movie, which is very saccharine, which it's so interesting to see it that contrast.
Yeah, and so I feel like it helps. That first act helps you buy in the sentimentality that comes afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie is fascinating. It's like the most I've thought about a movie since Brutalist. I can't wait to talk about it more.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
But then I just can't wait to rewatch that dance sequence over and over.
Yeah, I heard it's like as good as like the RRR dance sequence.
Better, dare I say?
Oh wow!
Ew.
I think RRR is that's good.
This guy.
Just good. Wow. Okay. Those are my favorites.
But all right, I think that's it for me. But
okay, peace out, man.
All right, you're gonna miss the Civil War.
I will be watching, but I won't be participating.
Have fun, man.
Yeah.
Peace
All
out.
right. Bye-bye.
All right. So before we get to it,
yeah, anything else?
I do want to talk about the Phoenician Scheme.
Go ahead, Wes Anderson, nut over here.
Newest Wes Anderson movie, one of my favorite directors, and I mean, it has been like saying it's hard because it's not as strong as Asteroid City and French Dispatch. Like, I think it's more traditional than those movies. Those movies are very experimental. But I think the family dynamic, the father-daughter relationship, really worked really well in this movie. I think it's some of his most like emotional work, at least more accessibly emotional. I think it's just like all his movies, like a fucking technical marvel. I don't know how he gets financing for these movies, and they look this good. Bruno Demonel is the new DP he's using. He's usually using Robert Yeoman, but he switched to Bruno Demonel, who did Tragedy of Macbeth, among other things. It looks great. Has a different look, but it looks great. And Benicio del Toro is fantastic as the lead here.
Okay.
And Michael Cera finally in a Wes Anderson movie, and it does not disappoint.
I'm always confused because it looks like there's like multiple storylines going on in this.
This one's very linear.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the most linear in a long time for Wes.
I need to get into Wes Anderson. I only watched like that one animated movie that he did.
You need to watch Grand Budapest, man.
I need to watch Game. I really do. I think this
you need to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox. You need to watch Royal Tenenbaums. Like that. Those are your shit.
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums especially is like Succession before Succession.
Yeah, this is the summer I'm finally going to dive into PTA and Wes Anderson some more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you like it. I hear a lot of people saying it's like one of his best working years.
I've heard the opposite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people like this movie, but
I heard people saying it's better than the one he did last year. or 2 years ago.
Ashwood City.
Ashwood City.
I don't think so, but it's just hard to rank Wes Anderson movies because they all make me feel a certain way. And yeah.
So where's this on your? So you've rated this very highly then for the year?
I need to rewatch it before I put it on the ranking.
Okay, nice.
Because that a great crowd, which is rare for Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, like what is a great crowd for Wes Anderson? Like a lot of
laughs.
A lot of laughs. Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of people don't understand his humor, at least GA wise. But I think because that was in like the LA theater, like the Burbank.
Oh, nice.
I feel like more people got it, but we'll see. Before we get to The Last of Us, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's close on Last of Us. I had a great time. Andor technically ended in May.
I was to say Andor. Yeah, I want to talk about
Andor. Ended in May. I haven't talked to you about that. I think that's my favorite show of the year. I think that's just a fantastic show.
Favorite show that's out. Because Helen Harper is still number one for me.
That's so. How has that not been distributed?
How does that have no distribution?
That
makes no fucking sense, man.
Like, come on! Like that was a great show. I'm shocked. Like, they didn't get bought that same weekend.
It's such a shame because it's like easily.
This seems like something
easily, but it's definitely Cooper Rave's best work for sure.
I feel like this is easy, like a Fox Searchlight, just put on Hulu.
Hulu
like,
for sure.
Over the summer, kids would like kids, but like I think everybody would love it over the summer. Just easy. What is it? 8 episodes?
So good, man.
Well, yeah,
I want to rewatch that so bad.
Me too. That was a great show. I'm shocked. But yeah, definitely Andor is the best show that's out right now, or that aired. Andor was great. Every single episode. What happened?
We gotta talk about the studio also.
Yeah. That's next up on my list.
Okay. So
but Andor season 2 was just fantastic, unbelievable, emotional, compelling, intense, heartbreaking, but super like poetic and fitting with each and every character arc and character journey.
When this show first started, before it started, if you told me that I would be sobbing through the finale of the show, I would have like laughed in your face.
Yeah.
And yet, like, the characters are so well developed, and like the most I've cared about characters in Star Wars for a long time.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I agree.
Like, I have fun with a lot of the Star Wars stuff these days. I'm not a hater.
Me neither. No.
But I'm just not. I haven't been this invested in a while.
Invested and connected. I think with the Rebels cast, I was invested.
Yeah, Rebels and just the sequel trilogy cast for me.
I agree. Yeah, but Andor is just, it's next level, man. I don't know how else to describe it. It's next level writing. Ben Mendelsohn, just fantastic.
The finger.
Oh, God. That was so good.
The Gorman massacre, is fucking unbelievable.
Monumental television.
Mon Mothma's escape, Welcome to the Rebellion. That episode is probably my favorite.
Great episode too.
Incredible.
Yeah. I have that radio in my head of the Gorman massacre. It's like, if you can hear me, this is a massacre. Yeah. Hundreds, thousands are dying. I'm like, oh my
I watched that episode in a theater too. And man, it fucking
awesome.
Hit, dude.
Yeah, they should re-air these in the theater.
I think there's plans of doing the finale in the Road One. But we'll see.
I'll watch half of that then.
Man, I will say I did watch Road One after this. Made it worse.
Right? No, that's what, Josh.
Yeah, right.
I'll take the same thing because people were like, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to Rogue One." I'm like,
it does not work.
Me and Jalen like watched it. We're like, it's still
these
messy.
Are different characters.
It's still messy. The character work is just not my thing.
Even more messy.
I can just tell like, oh, this is a different level.
This is like elementary school level writing.
Right? It's just like it's different for me. It doesn't make the movie better for me.
No.
Like, okay. But like, it adds context if that's something. But like overall, Andor is just magnificent, man. Like the episode with just what was her name? Axis.
Leia. Dude, Leia. Fucking Leia. Elizabeth TLOU in the show is a revelation, man. She's incredible.
Yeah. I loved her in season 1.
Leia has become one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
Easily. The whole episode is just her and Luthen. Come on.
Oh my God, dude. So unexpected, and yet hit so hard.
In the finale, like, what are you doing? Like, that's nuts. Full spoilers for Andor, by the way. Full spoilers for Andor season 2. Because I was shocked. Because, not shocked. I was expecting Luthen to go in this finale. But to do it in the first 10 minutes of episode 10, for the first batch of the episode. That was crazy. I thought it was gonna be like the final episode, but they're doing it in the first part of the last batch, and I'm like, wow, okay, fascinating.
And yet we got Bits alive. What are your thoughts on that?
Bix alive was worked for me. I wish Bix got more to do in this.
I know people would complain about her being pregnant, but I think it worked.
It worked. It's tropey, but it works. Some tropes really work, and I think that really worked for me. It worked with what she did for Andor's arc and her own. It was tragically beautiful, or beautifully tragic, whatever. But yeah, Dedra's arc this season was magnificent. Magnificent.
Denise Go, Kyle Stoller, I think that's his name, who did Sir Tarn. Incredible acting, man.
Oh man, like
they should better get some minis.
Everybody was on the next level. I don't think it will. I think I'm prepared for it not.
We'll get noms.
We'll get noms for sure, but it'll get the Better Call Saul treatment where it just won't win.
Because what else is in drama?
The Tech Awards won't win much.
Succession, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Not Succession.
Or Severance.
Severance. Yeah, I think Severance and The Pit are like the two, like the goats.
The Pit, really?
The Pit, dude. You gotta watch The Pit. It's so good.
I know. I found out Samantha Swayon's in The Pit too. So
yeah. She's in like 3 to 4 episodes. She has a recurring role in The Pit. But yeah, Andor. I fell in love with it. It ended on like the first week in May. I'm gonna miss it dearly. It's just one of those.
Oh yeah, speaking of that first week, just May 4th stuff. I had a fun day with friends of the show, Alden and Nikki, and Edgar was there for the last part of it. At the Academy Museum, they did a trilogy of screenings. They did Phantom Menace on 35mm film, which was really cool. It was a theatrical version, so Puppet Yoda.
Wow.
It was really fun. Then they did Empire, which was great. Then they did Rise of Skywalker, which I know you hate. I've really come around on that movie, and seeing the theater and was really cool.
Those are weird movies to pick. Empire.
I know it was weird, but it was like the first of the trilogy, the second.
Oh, I get it now. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
It was a fun day.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun day. I would definitely.
Edgar, funny enough, was there for Rise of Skywalker.
He came for Rise. Yeah. Chewie, no, damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy you got the experience. I would definitely go to that.
It was fun seeing the be with me in that theater. Insane with the sound.
Yeah. Seeing Star Wars in theater, just in general,
especially that movie. Say what you will about the story and characters, technically it's gorgeous.
Yeah, you can't replicate it. And I always say, like, whether you love or hate a Star Wars movie, seeing it in theaters, like every time you see a Star Wars movie, you get a different.
And that's what I've missed so much about all these shows.
Yeah, it's just like it's not theatrical.
Yeah,
you can't replicate it. I watched Revenge of the Sith last month in April.
Oh yeah, me too.
And that was fantastic. I mean, I just love seeing Star Wars in theaters. That was such a great experience. I love that movie. So yeah, that really worked for me.
What do you think of that in theaters? I think it worked well.
It worked. Yeah, my crowd was great. I laughed harder, not harder, but just I laughed so much watching that movie because it's very funny with this like
it's very the most memes.
Yeah, right. I'm just like I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I'm laughing so much here. But it's
when the Obi-Wan is like cut to him just like standing there,
right? Let her go, like, Obi-Wan. That's not how you should be standing when this guy is like.
Have you seen the tweet or whatever? It's like every time he cuts to Obi-Wan, bringing Setsi that starts playing.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I didn't see that. But yeah, that was a great experience. But yeah, we talked about it earlier. The studio, also a very fun show.
Studio, man,
definitely a pleasant surprise.
This is an interesting one for me because I kind of like was going back and forth throughout the season.
Me too. There's some episodes that are better than others. Yeah.
Because I feel like the episodic structure is fun. I think the way it's shot is really cool. But I think because of that, we don't get to live these characters as much. I think some of them are a little underdeveloped, and I think like I liked how each episode was something different. I would have been cool to see the season focus on one issue throughout the season, though.
It's weird because like I think it tried to, right? Like, you know, this is definitely an experiment.
In the finale, it brought everything back, which was nice.
The finale, the last.
I think the last 2 episodes are incredible.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes are bringing back the whole Kool-Aid movie, which was in the first episode, and then like the 4th episode with Ice Cube.
Dave Franco from the with Olivia Wilde episode, and
exactly. So they all came together. By the way, the Kool-Aid episode with the Ice Cube, one of my favorites. hilarious. Which
The
is like,
casting one.
should he be?
So good.
But if he's black, it's like, is that racist or is it more racist?
Yeah.
It was so freaking funny. I loved that episode. Probably one of my favorites. The whole doctor episode too was very funny. Where his job is just as important as doctors. I'm like, this guy is an asshole. Stop talking, dude.
I think the best was the Oneer.
The Oneer with
Greta Lee. The
Greta
second
Lee.
episode. Oh my
Great
god.
episode. Sarah Polley was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was a great episode too. So yeah, I think season 1 had some ups and downs, but overall, I just had a great experience watching it. Every episode was really funny and had his heart to it. I like the cast.
The central cast was great. Yeah.
The Golden Globe episode was very funny as well. Maybe next season they can do like
Adam Scott, great guest appearance there.
Adam Scott was great. They had like Zack Snyder. I was like, what is happening here?
They had Ted Sarandos.
Yeah. That whole scene in the back, I was like, how do you get actors to just like
contract?
It's in the contract. He was like, oh fuck, I don't know.
I hate Ted, but he did that great.
That delivery was really nice. Really nice.
That was a good one.
So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by the studio. Apple TV, if they're not going to advertise their shows,
I was a little let down because I thought like this was going to be like one of the best shows of the year, but
no,
I had fun with it.
It's definitely. I think it's still like my top 12. 13. It's a really delightful show. I'm glad it's getting a new season. This is one of those shows that can just run for a very long time.
I hope so, man. I hope it goes at least 5.
Yeah, if we can get the Bear every season, we can definitely get the studio every season. Come on.
Yeah.
Even though like the cast for the studio is like,
the people they're getting is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some like schedules might need to be worked out.
Martin Scorsese.
That was wild. That was cool. So yeah, I loved that. Poker Face started in May as well. I like the first.
I've seen the first 2 episodes. I need to catch up on the rest.
I think I'm with you. I think I watched the first 3 episodes.
The Giancarlo Esposito one, fucking great.
That was a great one. That was a great one. You might like episode 3. I think episode 3 is the one with your guy Mulaney. Yeah,
I need to watch it.
That was a good one.
Speaking of him, he has had the talk show going. I just want to touch on that a little bit.
Oh yeah, I knew you'd watch that. How was it?
It's fucking weird, and it's very like writer strike era Conan mixed with like Eric Andre's show. It's very surreal and wacky, and like very much obviously just doing whatever makes him and a very specific guest funny in the moment. And if it doesn't stick, then we'll just move on. Like it's really ballsy comedy, and I love it.
That's cool. Also, before we go to Last of Us, are you watching the rehearsal season 2? People love that.
Again, first 2 episodes. I need to watch the rest.
Okay. People said like the best show of the year.
Yeah, I need to get to it.
I'm like, would I like this? I'm like, okay.
I feel like this is definitely more. I don't know. I think you could be more into this season.
Because my friends were like, or my teachers at work, they were like, Evan, you would love the rehearsal. It's my favorite show of the year. I'm like, I don't know if I would vibe with Nathan's.
Really? Coworkers are saying that. That's
coworkers are saying that. Yeah, and they don't usually watch a lot of TV. Yeah. I'm shocked. But yeah, so I might get into the rehearsal season 2. Do I need to watch season 1 before season 2, or are they different? Or
so far from what I've seen, no. But I don't know. I barely through the season.
Okay, so yeah, I might just watch it in order. It doesn't matter.
Have you seen Mountainhead?
I have not. I thought Edgar saw.
I watched this 2 days ago.
Should I watch it?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. I heard it's boring.
It's boring. It's a lot of like what's right, these characters. Like it's just very much the technical businessy dialogue from Succession, but nothing else.
Not fun characters. Just
it's like every character is a mixture of Kendall and Roman.
Oh wow!
And there's no other dynamics stacked off of.
There's no balancing act there.
No.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's just very meh.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it. Jesse Armstrong, right? So
Jesse Armstrong washed.
Hollywood.
It's very disappointing to see him go from Succession to this.
That's sad. But, maybe this was just like an afternoon writing experiment for him.
I mean, Rami Youssef is fun in it, I guess. Corey Michael Smith.
I do like him.
Good. I mean, the cast is good, but I don't know. It's not worth it.
Okay.
It's like
Worth
almost
it.
2 hours too.
Jeez, that's too long.
Do we want to start? Do we want to get into this?
I think that's it. Are we ready for Last of Us season 2?
Oh
I
man,
think that's about
do I
it.
want to talk about this?
Yeah, give me your thoughts first. Because I talked about this
We
with
want to start
Nathan.
with negative versus positive.
Let's do the negative.
Side.
Because
Okay.
I talked about this with Nathan every single episode, and I had a really great time with it.
That's true. Okay. I know you love this season, which I don't
Yeah.
understand, but I'm excited to hear your thoughts. There was a great video essay that came out that I watched that kind of like wraps all my feelings about this into like 40 minutes. It's titled "The Last of the HBO is a Disney remake," and I kind of feel the same way. It's a hollow remake of something that does not need to be remade. I think every change it makes is like in detriment to the core of these characters and the story from the game. And it's done so while looking like shit compared to the game, and with way more what's the right word? It is over explains itself, and I think there's a lot of nuance missing. And I think a lot of characters are miscast.
Interesting.
Just
I
a little
think
thought.
I think structurally this season could have been structured a bit better, but for me, I think certain aspects are better in the show than in the game.
Really? I
think
don't understand that at all.
Specifically the flashbacks, which were, I think, one of my least favorite parts of Last of Us Part 2 is that you're going through the game, you'll enter like the museum flashback, which individually these flashbacks are solid, but like
I disagree.
I think you're cutting through by having them all in a single episode. It makes the theme flow much better.
But I think what makes them work in the game is that as Ellie's story progresses, as we see her go down this darker path, I think the flashbacks are placed brilliantly to like give us reminders of what could have been. If Joel was still alive.
I never looked at it as a what could have been, or more so just like a period of time that was forever lost.
That too.
What
this Ellie that because of what she went through and because of what was taken from her, that will never do again.
Yeah, that's true. I just felt like in the game,
I think it was important to have those sprinkled throughout, and it just one bam. Here's a segment or an episode.
I think it's structured much more tighter that way. I can get.
I think it's structured for TV, sure, but I just think this story is.
If I'm watching a TV show and I'm getting a flashback in episode 1, then episode 3,
that's fair.
5,
that's fair.
I'm like, I can't really vibe with that.
I think this story was as meant to be structured as a game, and doing so in a different medium kind of does itself a disservice.
I don't think so here. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it is a very difficult. We knew that going in. It's a very difficult game to adapt.
I just fundamentally disagree with not having the porch scene be the ending. I don't understand that choice at all.
I was against it, but I fully support it. It's one of my favorite scenes of the year. I think it's extremely
done well. I will say that the flashbacks are done well. They're like, I think it's definitely Pedro's best work in the show.
I think it's Pedro's best work overall. I've never seen him better. I've never seen him in any product hit those notes.
That's fair. Yeah,
I guess including season 1. I'm including season 1 as this.
But also, I think like watching the game scenes again, I think this is way more nuance to it. I liked what Pedro is doing, and I get that he's a softer Joel, but I think him breaking down into tears so much in that scene kind of like again does a disservice to Joel.
No, I think that works. I think it works because it's him not fulfilling a promise that he set himself up for at all. And in that episode,
also don't like that they all over the place here. One of the changes I do like was having Ellie's realization of what Joel did be that Eugene moment instead of Salt Lake. But I think
the Salt Lake part was dumb in the game.
I think they should have still had the Salt Lake scene not be a part of the porch scene. I think they should have had that moment like, a
That
day
bit,
before.
that's a good critique. I didn't mind it, but I was kind of.
I think it's just too much in that one scene.
That's fair. That's a fair take. I was like kind of taken aback by that. Like, oh, they're just doing it all in one sitting.
It's still rushed, I think.
It's all in one sitting, but I think it's still.
Because I think also like. Sorry to keep phoning off, but it's just a lot of stuff coming to
it. Because I've already talked about this. I want to hear.
Yeah. Like I agree that Eugene, that scene being the catalyst of all this, works better. But like
in the game, I never liked the Seattle part. The way that she has to go all the way back to Utah.
Like, yeah, it makes no sense.
Go to the
for
recording.
TV, I understand why they want to cut that, but I also think Ellie knowing for as long as she does before the events of part 2 is important, and not just the night before.
Ellie knowing, but
right. I know she knew, but having Joel confess, I think is important to have for at least a week before. Having her sit with those feelings before the porch scene.
Yeah, that part I didn't mind it because I liked how the show pretty much said like she kind of already knew without the confession. The confession was just helping her.
But like I feel like
the confession was used to recover from the trauma, not as a like.
That's fair, yeah. But I think that was overstuffed. That scene.
That's fair. That part was fair, but I think what Neil did well in that episode was constructing.
I will say Neil's writing that episode like the best of the season.
Yeah, I hope you do a little bit better than me. I think that's why I like the flashbacks all in one episode because that line of "hope you do a little bit better than me" permeates throughout each and single flashback very well. The flashbacks are structured in a way
that's bringing a new core theme to the show that fits for the going from Levin Abbey that fits across this whole story, and that's something new that I liked. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that aspect because like in each flashback you can get a sense of like the choice permeating how Ellie feels about the choice permeating throughout the flashback structure. But yeah, I think Isabella Merced is a better Dina in the show than in the game. I think the game Dina isn't a fully realized character, and that's coming from me loving the game. I think in the game, Dina is used as like a warm tether for Ellie.
I don't disagree. I don't agree.
I think she's used as a warm tether, but she's not given much complexity during her Seattle journey, at least. I don't think Dina's given that much complexity until you get to the argument scene when they're back at home. I think Dina's used because in the game she gets told that Ellie is a immune. And in the game, she doesn't really talk about it
because they've already had a relationship going for weeks, which I think is
not really weeks. For like, she leaves right after Joel gets shot, so it's like a day or two, at least in the game. So it's like their journey isn't really that long, and for her to be like, okay, cool, the girl's immune, let's ride with it. And let me just stay inside Seattle. I like the way that she was using the show more, where she actually has much more to do.
I agree with that.
I rewatched.
I think her going on day 2, I think it was. I like that change.
I rewatched the scene that people were complaining about, which is Ellie coming back from Nora's death, and it's like Ellie talks about,
I do not like how that scene looked visually. I think this is very flat.
That's fair, but I in terms of the dialogue. Because I think a lot of the direction is very flat this season.
Yeah, so just uninteresting.
But in terms of the writing, I didn't mind because like in the game, Ellie talks about I just killed a lot of people. I still need you. And then Dina's response was to put her arms around Ellie. That's all Dina does in that scene. But in the show, Ellie confronts Dina about the lie that she's been telling Dina. Because in the game and in the show, Ellie was lying to Dina about like why they're at this journey in the first place. Dina asked her straight up in the game, it's like, do you know why these people killed Joel? Oh, I don't know. It could be something. But when Ellie confronts Nora says, do you know what he did? Yeah, I do know. She's telling Nora the truth. I do know what Joel did. I know what happened. She did not tell Dina that at all. So I liked Ellie telling Dina in the show about what she actually knew. And how she was lying.
I need to replay the game because I remember Dina loving Dina in the game and her.
I do. I love Dina in the game.
I need to replay to see how it compares for that aspect.
I'm just saying Dina isn't given a lot of complexity in the game until at least for me, at least from my experience, I didn't start loving Dina until like post Seattle when they were having that argument. That made me really like Dina's character. Okay. But she's in the game. I'm just like, because I watch a lot of revenge stuff. In the game, Dina is used as a warm tether for like for an out for Ellie. If you stop doing what you're doing in Seattle, you can just stay with Dina. Point, though. It is a point. And it's a simple point. If you stop doing what you're doing in Seattle, just stay with Dina, and that's it.
But Ellie can't do that.
Ellie can't do that. Exactly. She has to keep on going. And at least in the show, by having, for example, in episode 5, having Dina 5, having Dina get shot by the arrow gave an opportunity for the show to be like, okay, Ellie has 2 options now. She's either going to go back with Dina, support the person that she just said, like, I can't wait to be a father to, or she can go kill Nora. And Ellie immediately goes to go try and kill Nora. Not kill Nora, but like find out where Abby is from Nora. And I think that works spectacularly. And I think in the Structure episode 5, where she's like, I need to figure out what 2 pathways we need to go on to there.
Then they make Mel and Owen's deaths be an accident, which I do not like.
I think it's a fantastic. I will counter that again. I think in the game, Ellie does not go to the aquarium to kill Mel and Owen, not at all.
I know she doesn't go to that, but she still commits to it.
They attack her first,
but still,
Owen grapples with Ellie's gun.
I know that.
He has self-defense to kill him. Mel, who's pregnant, grapples with Ellie's gun. Stupid, and then Mel gets killed. In the game, Owen tries to shoot Ellie, so Ellie shoots back. Same thing from the game, or same thing from the show. Like, Ellie fires back against Owen,
but
Owen tried to kill Ellie in the game. Owen then just gets shot and killed. Either way, they both die by accident because they weren't supposed to die. They attacked her first.
But I think
Mel didn't because Mel was pregnant. Why would a pregnant woman attack Ellie in the game if you're pregnant?
I understand, but I still think Ellie committing the actions with her hands is important.
What?
I think it is. It's the blood on her hands that she ignores.
They're still dead. They're still dead.
I know that.
So what's the difference? They both died. If Ellie wasn't there,
it's more unforgiving in the game. I think it works better.
How? She gets stabbed in the neck versus getting shot in the neck?
No, the whole save this baby from my stomach thing, which did not work for me.
I loved that. It's giving more depth to Mel. She's pregnant. Of course, she's going to be caring for her baby. Because I think in the game, of course, because again, in the game, I'm there to find Abby. Owen shoots me, or Owen tries to grab her from my gun. You're dead, buddy. Bop, bop, bop. Mel, you're coming at me? You're dead, buddy. Goodbye. Oh, she's pregnant. Crap. It wasn't, because the game wants us to believe it's collateral damage. Like, oh, shoot. Exactly. It's the blood. It's not collateral if you try to attack me. Collateral damage is me firing a bomb.
We're in Ellie's headspace during that moment, and that's what she thinks. And I think that's important.
And the same thing here. She didn't mean to kill Mel. Because she didn't go there to kill Mel. But Mel still dies by Ellie's hand. Ellie still shot and killed Mel. Like, it still worked. They both died. And for I like the pregnancy angle because it's reflecting back on how Ellie was born. She was born through, Ellie was pregnant. Sorry, Ellie's mom was pregnant while she was infected. What's it called? The other character, Marlene, had to try and had to take away Ellie while Ellie's mom was dying. And that's reflecting upon Ellie here, where Ellie tried and failed to to save Mel's baby there, and she failed. But what's so clever here is that Ellie is so willing to kill via violence, but she's not willing to save Mel's baby, or at least try to at all. She froze, and she doesn't freeze when it comes to violence, which I think it works well here. She didn't freeze when she went to go beat up and torture Nora. She said she liked it. She said she thought it was easy.
That's fair.
Which makes a lot of sense. I think there was just a lot of great comparisons there. I liked Ellie's journey with Dina much more here than in the game. Because in the game, again, it's just Ellie by herself, which again, it's hard to replicate a lone character going through a war-torn zone in a show versus a game. But I like the idea of Dina being here with Ellie, Dina having her own reasons for being there because of what happened in Jackson. On top of her love for Ellie. Also better than the game, Dina getting bit or Ellie taking the bite for Dina. Granted, they didn't have the whole
spores.
They didn't have the whole spores aspect.
I think the
but
spores look better for me, but
the spores looked great in the show. But yeah, I think the show.
No, I think the spores reveal like through the spores work better.
I like to hear because it's Ellie physically putting her arm in front of Dina, like physically.
Again, I think this. I think this the problem is that like there's the show adds a lot of nuance and subtext for me.
What's the nuance to the smoke scene?
The what?
What's the nuance to the spores? There's no nuance there.
It's just so obvious. I don't know. It just adds to it. That's not the problem. I don't know, man.
There's nuance. There's plenty of nuance here. I think there's plenty.
I'm more so talking about like just to wrap things up, because I'd assume. But the whole way Joel's death was handled, did not like that.
I loved it. Again, I think the only thing that's different is like the visual language of it all is different.
It goes on for so long for no reason.
I think it works. I think that goes into the differences with Abby's character here. She's much more.
She over-explains herself. Here. For what reason?
It's different, right? People complain about like people complaining about over-explaining is people who only play the games, which is fair, I guess.
I mean, only play the games. That's the.
I mean, true, but if you're watching this, true, exactly. But if you're watching this, it's like, oh, over-explaining. It just her. It's just a villain talking. Really, like I didn't get the sense that she was like overly.
It's not as effective as it was in the game, where we don't get that. I think it's like the wonder of it being done when we first find out, and just like Joel denying her the privilege of going through that speech. I think it's important.
But that's a different Joel with a different circumstance.
Exactly. That's my problem here, Evan.
That was season 1 Joel.
I didn't love season 1 Joel.
What? Wow, I thought season 1 Joel was fantastic, and I think it works here as well for different reasons. In the game, he cuts her off because Abby is, she's about to say something. He's cutting her off because he's a different Joel. He's much more rough and tough. Joel in season 1 has much more,
softer Joel. I agree with that.
Much more heart, which is needed in a show where your character doesn't talk that much.
It's just weird when they try to. This is an example, but like. When they try to do one-to-one scenes from the game with these different characters, it feels weird also.
No, I don't know. It really worked for me here. I love episode 2 so much. Because I think the thing that really compelled me in episode 2 was Joel, and I think Craig and Neil talked about this, was that Joel, they wanted to focus on the effect of Joel's choice. Joel took away humanity's cure. So I like the aspect of Jackson. When Joel gets on top of the mountain and he's with Abby, and Abby's pulling him to go to the house, and he looks to the right and he sees Jackson up in flames because of the infected disaster. He could have. I love that. I think that could have stopped it because that's Joel's choice. By Joel choosing to take away humanity's savior by saving Ellie, he continued humanity's disaster of the infected, or
I think making Jackson a bit bigger deal kind of like takes away from that moment also.
Jackson has to be a bigger deal because I think one of the things that season 2 and part 2 is diving into is the idea of community, which they wrap up in the finale. But the idea of community, how does Jackson compare to the Seraphites? How do the Seraphites compare to the WLF? How do the WLF compare to Fedra? All these communities, this is great. All these communities are different. How do they respond to violence? And how do they reflect about what's going on with Ellie and Abby's response to violence, where Abby and Ellie continue. What?
Made a different IP, made a new original thing.
That's part of Last of Us. You're just adding to it. How is it not part of Last of Us? You want to just minimize everything?
That's not minimize it. I think it works way. It's more. This story is more effective when it's doing less. When it's focusing on its actual like core ideas of like. Not getting of moments being taken away through violence and the cycle of violence.
Yeah, I mean, I think the cycle of violence, which again, I love.
We fundamentally disagree on this, and that's fine.
No, but I love Last of Us Part 2, but people gotta stop thinking like Last of Us Part 2 is a perfect game when it's
I think
not.
it is.
There's a lot of flaws Last of Us Part 2, and I like the
I
game a
love
lot.
it's.
The character work and the side characters like Jesse and Dina aren't the most fleshed out characters. They're just not.
I don't think they need to be.
Which they're fine. But if you have the opportunity in the show to dive into more of these characters, I'm not going to take that away.
It was written better, sure, but I don't think it was written well.
I think it is written well.
I think Jesse's fucking terrible in the show.
I think Jesse's great in this show. I think when Jesse actually has a compelling reason to differ from,
I don't think it's compelling, to be honest.
When he's talking about his community and what changed, the idea of love, I like it a lot. I like the idea of because he
kind of like betrays the relationship Ellie and Jesse have in the game. I don't think it's different, sure, but it's not.
I don't think it betrays. They're both still they're allies. They're friends. As Jesse says again, yeah. Jesse says you would ruin the world to save me, and Ellie would. Yeah.
He wouldn't.
Yes, he would. He came back for save her. Episode 4. He saved her. We saw that. We saw that again. We saw it happen. He came across from Jackson to Seattle to save.
Yeah, because he had to become a leader, which I don't think works.
You're watching a completely different show. He saved her because she's Ellie. Him being the leader would mean sacrificing himself. Or sorry, him being the leader would just be like, okay, they can die in Seattle. I'll stay here and protect Jackson, which is still recovering. That's what would have been him being a leader. But him sacrificing himself to save Ellie and Dina, the people he loves, it goes with the storyline of like, how far would you go to save the people you love? And along the way, how does Ellie's decision?
But maybe it's the actor who's not doing it for me.
Maybe. I thought he was great. But yeah, it's the people. How does Ellie's decision ruin the lives of other people? And I think Ellie's role here kind of reflects what happened in season 1, where we got Catherine instead of the Pittsburgh level. We got Catherine played by what's the girl? The girl from Yellow Jackets that I love in Kansas. I love that aspect because again, Pittsburgh is not a level in the game. It's a fun gameplay level, but doesn't do anything in the game.
That's some things that they added that like, what's the point of this?
Is it you're adding to the show? Because again, in the game,
it's interesting. The whole, that her character was kind of like just meh.
What would you rather do in the show then if you go into the Pittsburgh level?
Don't make the show.
That's stupid. You can't. You have to make a show. People want to make a show.
You have to remake something.
I mean, sure, you don't have to, but if you're creatively compelled to make a show, you want to make a show.
Sure, yeah, and I could not like it, and that's fine.
That's fine.
Like it, and that's fine.
But I think season 1 is a 10 out of 10 season for me. I think season 2 is.
I think it works better as an adaptation because there's not as much there with like depth in terms of story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, actually, I think season 1 is dealing with much more.
I think the changes in season 1 actually like do different things and are actually like filled with a lot of depth and nuance, unlike what personally I think the changes in season 2 do.
I think there's a lot of depth to what Ellie's going through, and I think by her, again, I took a lot of notes on this, but just Ellie's whole transition from being this, person who was so compelled by violence, like what Joel taught her, to what we get in season 2, where
and she's barely even consumed by it in the show.
No, again, I think she is when she goes to the Nora part, but when she's with Dina, she's
at certain moments when it does 1-to-1 for the game, she is, but then outside, she's still happy to lucky Ellie.
No, but that's because she's with Dina. That's a big difference.
And it's just like, yeah, but
she's with Dina. She's not gonna be sad around.
That's not
Dina.
Ellie though. It's a different Ellie. Sure,
it is
but
Ellie.
Not...
What are you talking
about?
Ellie
doesn't mask her feelings in the game.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's as interesting.
I think it's way more interesting when you're actually masking your feelings rather than just being quiet Ellie. You can't do that for a whole TV show. You'd be quiet Ellie for 2 hours. No, I think it's much more interesting with somebody masking their feelings and then seeing their true nature show up rather than getting the same feeling.
But it doesn't feel as natural. It's just it feels like the light switch when it happens.
That is a switch. That's exactly what it is. You called it because that's what Ellie's doing a lot of the time in part 1.
It doesn't feel natural to me.
That's fair, but there's a violent activation that compels Ellie. It's the same thing that happened in episode 2 of season 1, when Joel saves Ellie violently, and Ellie is activated. Yeah. And Ellie is like activated.
I also don't think like
violence.
I don't know. I just am so hung up on the games, and that's That's fine.
That's fair, but I think the gameplay, I think at least for Ellie's gameplay, or at least Ellie's story, is much more driven by gameplay, which you just can't translate.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why like this makes me question why even remake it in the first place.
And because it is a compelling story outside of the gameplay,
but it doesn't work outside the game for me.
For the gameplay storyline, for example, I think that's kind of flawed. If I'm including the gameplay, Ellie massacres a ton of different people in Seattle, and then so when she gets to Nora, her beating up Nora isn't that compelling because I just killed 20 people to get to the hospital.
That's fair.
If I'm including that, I just massacred all these people. I get to Abby and I don't kill Abby after I killed half of Seattle to find Abby. That shouldn't work. It works for me in the game because I like Ellie as a character, but if I'm including gameplay, it wouldn't make sense. It's goofy. I killed half of Seattle, but I can't kill Abby. That's weird, but I don't mind it because I like the whole story that's going on in the game. You know what I mean? So like, I don't mind Ellie not killing that many.
But also, like, I don't know. I feel like we have a different.
See what I'm saying? Because like, if I'm killing, and I think the revenge angle is very simple. It's very.
But
simple.
It's because
it's not as nuanced as people are trying to make it out to seem like. There are nuance there in the game that I do appreciate and I do love.
Ellie knows about Yev and Lev in the game, right?
Ellie knows about Lev.
I'm trying to remember that.
Not until she gets shot.
Wait, when does she find out about Lev and Abby's relationship?
Lev and Abby's relationship?
Is that a thing or no?
She doesn't. Like when she gets to the theater park and starts beating up Abby, she only sees Lev and Lev shoots.
Okay, yeah.
She only sees Lev and Lev shoots Dina with an arrow. That's the only time. And then at the end of the game, she assumes Lev and Abby are together just because Lev and Abby are together.
Maybe it's just like, I don't know. I'm just like really finding myself struggling with this because maybe it's because the show looks like shit a lot of the time. Maybe it's because I think the dialogue is a lot less careful and again nuanced. I think the direction is shit. Especially the Joel scene, like that just is so bland. And we're talking about technical like stuff. Like I just think compared to the game again, it's so bland and just I like how the camera roams in the game through that shot and that scene.
Oh, in that scene. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I also like how natural it is.
Show, it's just drags out, and it's just the most bland medium shots.
Again, I liked Abby's dragging it out because if I found somebody that killed my dad, I don't think it's pointless at all. It's a different character choice. But if I find somebody that killed my dad, I'm not going to question them talking it up while I'm beating them up with my fists. You know what I mean? It's like, again, granted, I've seen the game, and the game's much shorter.
But that's like,
if I find somebody that killed my dad, right? Like,
that's not how like stories work.
What do you mean?
Like, it just kind of makes it feel realistic for realistic's sake.
No, again, what I'm saying is it's either realistic or it's not realistic. Both versions are realistic. Either you get cut short or you don't. They're both realistic. They're just two different choices.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't like the choice then.
it makes a lot of sense for Abby to want to savor this moment.
I think this is how the show treats its audience. Honestly, compared to the game, I think it treats its audience as TV watchers, which is fair, but not as intelligent.
I think it does because there's still a lot of layers to what decision making is going on here.
There are
because like what decision is not like beating people over the head with
Abby's monologue.
But what is that? But what is that? How is it over explaining?
Because like I think the whole point. Okay, this is just like we disagree on the structure of the game being important.
Because again, I think people are overplaying how much Abby's motivation actually affects the story of the game. Abby's motivation comes from the first 5 minutes of Abby's part of the story. That's it. When she gets killed by,
but I think it's the way
her father get killed, and that's halfway through the game. And by that point, granted, remember there was lots of controversy. There was lots of controversy here because Abby's storyline, you're forced to play as Abby,
And I think that's why this game works as well as it does for me, because it's taking those risks.
It is a risk, but what I'm saying
it's
is
way more interesting with its storytelling and structure. And I think this story doesn't work as well for me outside of that structure.
What I'm saying is
that's the whole main thing of it.
What I'm saying is the risky part isn't Abby's motivation. The risky part is playing as Abby.
The risky part is delivering that information to the audience, I think, and that's just delivering that information.
You get it now, or you get it the first scene of season 3. What's the difference?
Exactly. I think the whole point of the game is making
not the whole point of the game. It's definitely not the whole point of the game. To get Abby's motivation later.
Yeah, because knowing why Abby's doing this throughout Ellie's story doesn't make sense to me.
But you, as Ellie, figure it out because Ellie reveals it to Nora. When Ellie says, "Oh, Abby killed or Joel killed everybody in the hospital," Nora's like, "That's why we
didn't know Abby's dad was in the hospital at that point."
No, but it doesn't.
We don't know. We didn't know who Abby was at that point in the game.
No, but we know.
I think that's powerful.
Abby was part of the crew that got affected by the hospital. You learned that through Ellie's storyline.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do. Abby came with Nora. When Nora tells Ellie, "Do you know what your father did? Or do you know what Joel did?" Ellie says, "I know." Just like she did in the game. You can assume Abby was part of Nora's crew.
Ellie knows what Joel did, not that Abby was a part of it.
But why else would Abby kill Joel at that point?
Exactly. We don't know. That's why
you do know. You're playing the game. You're paying attention. What the hell?
No.
Yes, you do. So let's break this down. Abby and Nora and the rest of the Seattle crew come to kill Joel. When that happens, we don't know. Exactly. But when Ellie's in Seattle day 2 and she says she's trying to torture Nora, Nora's like, "Do you know what he did?" Ellie's like, "I know." What else could they be talking about?
Yeah, what he did. He killed fireflies.
Yeah, the hospital.
I know that, but
you didn't. Okay, I must have a different experience when I'm playing the game because I immediately go to the only scene that matters in part 1, which is the hospital scene. But either way.
But Evan, that's what? 15 hours? No, 8 hours at least into this game.
True.
Whereas in the show, it's the second episode.
That's structure. That's not nuance.
Exactly. I think structure is nuance.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Structure can add to the nuance, but
it's the way it treats its audience is the nuance, and instead of
No, and again, I think you can have people having a totally different experience by having Abby's motivation doesn't take away the nuance because you can be
For me, it does.
I still understand Abby's motivation. I still don't like Abby as a character because she killed Joel brutally. So it's like and again, Abby, the nuance with Abby's character, which isn't really that revolutionary, is that hey, we're gonna get you to play a character. Spoiler alert: we want you to like this character. That's the potential nuance you're gonna get. But as soon as you switch over from Abby's character to Abby's character, the game is forcing you to be we want you to like this character, whether it works or doesn't work. That's the gameplay. So you're already going to that expecting that.
I'm just
I already
my whole thing is that the way they deliver information in the show is not filled with nuance. It's takes away the nuance from how they do it in the game.
Yeah, I disagree because again with Abby getting Abby motivation, that's not nuance.
The first scene we see in season 2 is kind of defeats the whole purpose of us playing as Ellie or as okay, how do I word this? I do not understand. I don't agree that not knowing who Abby is when Joel dies.
That's it.
It works better that way for me.
True.
I think it just adds to the overall story. I don't know. It works better the way the story is told that way.
I disagree because I think it's a mystery for sure, and you're discovering that mystery. But then you play as Abby, you get the answer to it. Okay, cool. It's
hours later.
Yeah, you
halfway through the game, halfway through the story, after so much of being in Ellie's perspective of hating Abby.
Yeah, but I don't change to not hating Abby when I realize her father got killed by Joel. That's not when people click off. The game wouldn't be as controversial.
No, but it adds to it.
If it adds to what?
Of us getting into Abby's perspective.
No, I was like, okay, cool. Abby killed Joel. I still don't like the character. You fall in love with her through the relationships with Lev and Yara.
I know
That's
that.
it.
Yeah.
Not Abby's motivation.
I'm not saying that's the sole reason why we love Abby, but I'm saying not like it just adds. I don't know. I think the structure of the game is so integral to the story, and going against that, it just makes it not work as well for me.
I think I go into the game.
We disagree on that. That's fine.
Yeah, you have to change it. The flashbacks, the way they're sparse throughout the game, don't work all the way.
And that's why, some just why even remake the story then?
Because you can do it much better. You can have
I disagree.
I disagree. Not much better, but you can have the flashbacks change. You can add depth and.
But that doesn't make it better to me. That just makes it more accessible.
It's accessible, but you can still have plenty of conversations.
It's more streamlined. Once again, goes against the game for me. Yes, it is.
It's not streamlined at all. No. I think Abby, for going back to Abby's motivation, cool. I understand Abby's motivation. I understand Killmonger's motivation, but there's still depth that follows past that motivation.
I know that.
So I think getting Abby's motivation early on doesn't remove the depth.
I'm not saying it removes the depth. I'm just saying it removes the depth in how it's delivered to the audience, which I think is important.
Removes the depth and how it's delivered to the audience.
Like, I think I don't know. I just think it's unconventional how the game is structured and how it delivers information to us as the player. And I think the show is kind of throwing it out the window.
I've seen plenty of shows you're dangling. It's simple as fact. You're just dangling a mystery in front of your audience. That's it.
Sure, yeah.
It's not unconventional.
I think in terms of traditional storytelling, yes, it is unconventional.
I would argue the only unconventional part is just playing as that character. That's unconventional. But like the whole mystery part, I've seen it done before, better in other places too.
Okay, fair.
But I don't. Again, I think I liked Abby motivation here because it creates a compelling decision-making process where Abby's motivation, this guy killed my father figure. But she doesn't know what Joel's gone through. She doesn't know what Joel's changed. Same thing, same experience for the game. I wouldn't replay Last of Us Part 2 nearly as much. Replaying it again, knowing Abby's motivation, it still works. So it's the same experience here watching the show, knowing Abby's motivation. You know what I mean? Okay, I don't mind it because I already played it 10 times. The replayability wouldn't work if I'm still affected by the mystery box angle. Which is why I like them delivering the motivation here because it adds relevance to Joel's choice. Because Joel made a choice, and how do people respond to that choice? What are the consequences of that choice? Well, you see it in Abby, you see it in the attack on Jackson, and you see it on how it affects Ellie. He hopes Ellie's gonna be a better person, but she's not. She makes choices that go against Dina by lying to Dina, making her in mortal danger. And Ellie makes decisions that make it worse for her to be a parent figure. She wants to be a father, part of her, but part of her also wants vengeance. And I think she's at odds with that.
Okay, I don't want to, sorry, I need to wrap up soon.
No, sorry.
Yeah. I like this conversation. We're in some interesting things. But
what else? I want to say real quick. Isaac, I think, is better in the show. I think I like Jeffrey.
Sure, but I just don't like the choice of having him be in Ellie's story.
That's fair. That's a fair criticism. I wouldn't have minded to have them wait a little bit, but I think
same with Seraphites. I think the moment we see Ellie meet the Seraphites for the first time, and that being our first experience with the Seraphites is interesting.
It's really cool. I agree with you. I think that's really cool. Really cool.
In the cable station.
Yeah.
In the show, we got 2 scenes of them before, which I think is useless.
Because you see them first in the zoo when she gets stabbed with the arrow.
Well, in the show, yeah, but in the game, I think.
No, in the game when Ellie gets stabbed in the arrow or Ellie, yeah. But I see what you mean.
That's before the cable station, where to see the people hanging down and being hung. That's our first interaction with them.
I know what you mean.
Knowing of them.
Yes,
I think it's very effective.
Cable station. Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a fair critique. I wouldn't have minded that. And I think that was that's
the scenes that they did in the show. Save that for season 3.
Yeah, I would say that the father and the daughter
just add to it.
Yeah. The father and the daughter getting massacred. I think that was a bit too on the nose.
Yeah.
Joel and Ellie parallel there. But what's it called? I think Isaac with the Fedra aspect about loyalty and about how you
It's
visually
interesting,
see
sure, but like I
how
don't think
Isaac
we needed
changes.
it this season.
Probably not, but I like seeing how Isaac visually changes into a person that he completely
Yeah.
hated.
That's fair.
Because in Josh Peck, that was funny as hell. What else?
I gotta go.
Sorry.
Anything else? Anything else?
Dude from Breaking Bad, Lalo Salamanca being Joel's dad was a best.
Oh
surprise.
yeah, from Intergalactic.
Yeah. Apparently he got cast for Intergalactic after Last of Us season 2.
Yeah.
Or before. I don't know which one came out. But yeah,
after.
that was it. If people want to watch after, sorry. If people want to watch my breakdown of Last of Us, go to My Cup of Tea, Nathan Rojas's channel. Is it in the description? I don't know. But I talk about
You
Last
guys
of Us
both
season
liked
2.
it, right?
Yeah. And I think with Caitlin Deaver, it makes me really excited to see what they get for season 3. I think Caitlin Deaver is a very fantastic.
I'm very worried on how they handle Lev, but I do think Caitlin Deaver is the best actress in the show. So we'll see.
I am as well. I mean, they have to handle it, the whole trans thing, for a while.
Very nervous.
Pretty nervous. But like, I think they'll cast well. I wish they would. You can't really cast the same voice actor.
I mean,
he's got an order.
Yeah, I think the casting should be fine, but like just the way they do that
storyline.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I don't trust Trade Mason after the season to have the subtext for that, but we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, find me on Twitter, Harris EV9. Next month, we're gonna have a lot to talk about with the Materialist coming out next week. How to Train Your Dragon. I'm gonna finally see Life of Truck, so we're gonna have something to talk about there. That's about it. Yeah, find me on Twitter, Harris EV9.
Find me at Twitter at Josh G. Woodbury. Find the show at WHFG Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads if you're still there.
Nobody went there.
Next, I don't know.
We gotta do top 10s this summer, motherfucker.
We gotta, man. We gotta do one. It's been a year.
I was thinking like the top 10 like horror of the 2020s or something. That would be fun.
We already did that.
Did we do that already?
We did 2010s or
2010s. 2020s has been different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure something out. I'm sure it won't be too long. We have more free time. Yeah, all right. Heartbreak feels good here, especially it doesn't feel good for Elon Musk right now.
Oof. Not the best.
Go look that up. Bye everyone. Shit.
Press the
Ron video was selected. Give me 1 moment. Do we have the last one here? We do.
Oh wow, nice.
Let's do that.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
This is some good shit right here, you know?